Well, good rising, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee Talk with me, Karen B. It is another fine moon day. It is October 2nd, 2023, which means we are like T minus 20 days from the event. Like, I might be freaking out inside just a little bit. Carrie, thank you for the tip on Rockfin. I appreciate you so much. You are the very best. It is, yeah, it's getting close. It's getting close over there on Rockfin. Hello, Jameson Kimbrel, Christoph, Carrie, Psyop within a Psyop. See you in Vegas. Yeah, baby. Yes, we will see you in Vegas. If you'll be in Vegas, that is. In less than 3 weeks. Like, literally less than 3 weeks, you guys. It's coming. It's gonna happen. Alright. Let me say hello to my good people in chat. Zulu1, Boston Ray, Nathan Reed, F'd Up World, NASA, not a single accomplishment. That's right. National Memorial Gardens, John Keeley, Run Boston Bear, Alpine Endeavor, Mojo Shop, Alex Javier, Joel Lynn, Grand Rising. Where the F did September go, right? Spicy Sarah, Mark Wood, Commercial Sound and Video. Are you still not worried about anything? Because I'm freaking out inside. F'd Up World, yeah. You're drinking coffee? MFT, hey, what's up? Good times for all. Who will be in Vegas? Stephanie Martin. All right. Good to see y'all here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you guys. So, Flattoberfest. Wow, it's coming. In Las Vegas. I can't even believe it. I still can't even believe, that we're finally getting our event in Las Vegas. We wanted this years ago. When we started doing, when Robbie started doing conferences, we started here actually in North Carolina, and Raleigh was the very first one. And it went all over the country. It did not go to the West Coast, though. It went to Colorado. It went to Dallas. Then I started doing them the last year that an FEIC went was 2019. That was the first year that I did Flattoberfest, and it was a very small, a much smaller event than what is happening now. But it was a really great event. We had over 200 people there. Rob Skiba was the keynote speaker there. Bob Nodell was a speaker there. Mark Sargent, one of my very, very best friends in Flat Earth, was there. And, Mark is my homie. If you think Mark's a shill, just fuck you. I'm just done with people infighting and pointing fingers. Like, I do not go around calling other people shills. I do not go around pointing fingers at other people. I don't like to trash talk anyone. But I'm not going to be supportive of people who do that. I'm just not. And I don't care anymore. I'm done. We've been doing this for years. We've been, trying to build up like a presence, We're trying to break that critical mass, right? We've been trying to do this for years. Been through a pandemic. I kept doing events, real life, in-person events through that whole thing, right? Certain people just don't, whatever. They get invited. They don't want to participate. They need like the red carpet rolled out. I don't do that. I don't roll the red carpet out for people. Okay. But everybody's welcome. I am not going to kiss anybody's ass. I don't care what you've done. I don't care who you know. I don't care who you are. Okay. If you're on the side of truth, then we're cool. If you're going to be, taking cheap shots at everybody for no reason, then whatever, dude. I don't need that. I don't need to be part of that. Okay. I've worked my ass off. I've been here, day in and day out for years. And I finally got us an event in Las Vegas, you guys. 2 days in Las Vegas, and it's international because the borders have opened up. So I jumped on that opportunity to finally get us a nice big event, a 2-day event on the West Coast. Okay, Mark Devlin is coming from the UK. Mark Devlin is a really intelligent guy. He's written some books. He's got a lot of relevant things to say. His main speaking points are not directly flat earth, but he is a flat earther. I met Mark Devlin in 2019 at the Flat Earth conference that happened in Amsterdam. You guys, I've flown all over the world on my own dime to do these things too, right? You know, like I didn't get, paid to go. I mean, they did give me a little bit of spending money when I got there, but like I bought my plane ticket, I paid for my hotel. It cost me a bunch of money to go be part of that conference. But I have, built this up enough to where these guys don't have to do that. I'm flying people over from the UK. I am flying Mark Devlin over. I am flying Dave Murphy over from the UK. I got their hotel rooms. I'm flying everybody in. I'm flying Mark Sargent in. Chief Crow, he's driving this time, but I have flown him in, and I pay for this stuff. It comes out of my pocket. I do a lot. I really do a lot to try to make these things happen, okay? So I would like as many people to come and be a part of it as possible, right? This is what this is about. It's different when you're in person with these people, with other flat earthers, You can't just hide behind your computer screen and be like, oh, you're a shill. No, you can go meet that person and you can talk to them face to face and you can ask them questions. Mark Sargent never hides. He is at every single conference that he's able to attend. A couple of them he left, but he was there last year. He's going to be there this year. He's helping me host the event. Okay, Mark and I are co-hosting this event because unfortunately Rick can't make it. And I thought I changed that thumbnail, but for some reason it doesn't update. Okay, Amanda Vollmer is coming. Ben Balderson is coming. Austin Whitsitt is coming. Jaron Campanella is coming. Okay, it's going to be great. Check out the schedule. I did upload the schedule Saturday, day 1. First off, Mark Sargent is going to open the event. We'll have Mark Devlin, Jaron Campanella, Austin Whitsitt, and then Mark Devlin again. He's got 2 separate subjects that he wants to talk about. So I separated his talks on Saturday because he is going to have to be leaving early Sunday. So I thought it would be cool to kind of break up his 2 different subjects on Saturday. Anyway, that's how it works out. Then Jason Lindgren. Then we're going to have a dinner break, 6 to 7:30. 7:30, I have a Tribute to Flat Earth plan. Tribute to Flat Earth is basically where it's like an in memoriam for all of the flat earthers that we have that helped us build this, whatever this is, up over the years. Like the ones that helped get us to that critical mass number, the foundation of exposing the truth about the nature of our realm, right? So like Rob Skiba, Bob Nodell, Mac Parhar, Mike Helmick, we're missing now. And who did we lose recently? Jimmy Brent. We just lost Jimmy Brent too, you guys. I mean, things are changing, things are happening, and we're losing people. And so we also need to keep gaining people. This is an ongoing thing. And you know what? We're not even the first ones. People have been here ever since this lie was thrust upon us, trying to keep the truth alive, trying to keep people awake to the truth, right? Because it's so easy for people to fall into deception, as we have seen. So many of us did over the last, couple hundred years. But, flat earthers have been here for decades, man. We've been here. Look at, remember I've talked about Voliva, the guy who founded Zion next to Chicago, Illinois, and the whole town was a flat earth town. They had flat earth schools, they had flat earth churches. They taught flat earth, right? This has always been an ongoing thing. We aren't the first and we certainly won't be the last, but we're going to keep it going. That's what this is about. So anyway, tribute to Flat Earth, then Chief Crow and the Flat Earthworms, and then that will be the end of day 1. It's between noon and 10 p.m. And so it'll probably end just a little bit before 10. I don't think Crow is going to play for, Chief Crow is going to play for 2 hours straight, but he will play a fantastic show. I'm sure he always does a great job. I love having him at the shows. He's actually the only really live music that we've got this year. But the next day, Sunday, day 2, is a very unique thing. We've got Chad Davis, who is going to be doing a sound bath, like a full, complete sound bath for the entire main room. Okay, it's going to be set up beforehand. It'll be mic'd and everything. And if you go in there and you sit down, and everybody's going to have to be quiet and just absorb it, but you'll get to experience a sound bath, which is great. I'm going to enjoy that. Everybody will enjoy that. Then we'll go right into it with Ben Balderson. And then we've got Dave Murphy. Dave Murphy is going to be doing a longer talk because he has a talk that he has been touring around in the UK giving. It's called Navigating the Matrix. And so, and he can customize it for any amount of time. I gave him 2 hours to do it. I hope that's enough for him to get in depth enough in that talk, because I think it's a really important subject. This is about having solutions to these problems. Mark Devlin is a guy who talks about solutions. Jason Lindgren, these are all solution-oriented people, or people who are interested in moving forward and progressing, and that's what I'm all about. Moving forward, progressing, building up a very strong foundation of a presence of people who know the truth about this realm and who will not be shut up, and who will not stop spreading the truth, and who will not just capitulate to the powers that be, who can use their voice to say, no, we're not going to consent to this, right? This is what this is all about. Amanda Vollmer, she's about that too, about medical freedom, about taking control of your health, right? I mean, not being a lifetime pharmaceutical customer, right? Where you just do whatever they tell you to do, and you end up hooked on all these drugs, for the rest of your life. So that's why, these are the people that I asked to speak. All right, Greg Reese from InfoWars. Greg Reese is great. He's done a lot of great videos. He's got the Reese Report that he does. He did a lot of good stuff about doing some Flat Earth videos and some Antarctica videos that actually made it onto the band.video platform, whatever the platform is, that is InfoWars. Even though we all know Alex Jones doesn't like talking about Flat Earth, Greg Reese is at least there with like the little earworm, the little Flat Earth earworm. So that's awesome. Okay, then dinner break again, same time as the day before. And then afterwards, we're going to have a Q&A panel with all of the panelists who are there, and possibly some other content creators who aren't necessarily speakers at the event, but who definitely have a lot of input to give, and who are certainly welcome to join the panel as far as public Q&A and asking direct questions and getting a real life conversation going, which again is what it's all about. And that will close out the second day. And I hope that you all, can be with us. And I know that every time, anybody who shows up has a fantastic time. They learn a lot. They, leave with like new things to think about, new things to ponder, new avenues to explore. So that's what's up. And I have not been looking at chat. Yeah. Camping out Just Jack met Cammy last night. Oh, you're at Just Jack's house, Alex Javier? That's good. Maybe expose Elon Musk for grounding. Expose farmer, break down the system, free the farming community. All that stuff. Sure, man. Can't wait to see you in Vegas, Carrie. It's gonna be awesome. So, I do have my phones open already. The phone number to call in is 848-222-2480. If you would like to call in. Yeah. So, that's what's up. I've been working on the event. I have a ton to do. I'm going to be extremely busy. To be honest with you, I am not sure if I will be doing any more coffee talks after today, leading up to the event. It's possible that there might not be any more. Because I got a lot to do. Like, no joke. The police in Zion carried Bibles. I feel like the woke agenda needs to be dealt with before we can move forward. Yeah, they only trust the science. Yeah, well, that is a huge problem. But, none of us are down with that. You know that. The woke agenda does need to be dealt with. But that's not even just us, though. That's everywhere. I look back at the FE conferences I've been to as some of the best times of my life. Met amazing people and family. Yeah, exactly. There isn't one Flat Earth conference that I went to that I regretted it. All the FEIC ones, I had a blast. I bought my ticket and I went. Except for the year that I spoke. I didn't buy a ticket that year. But I flew myself there. I never regretted going. It was always an amazing time. It's always an amazing time to be with people. I mean, look at the people who were there who otherwise you would never be around because they don't live in the same country as us. Like Iru. I don't think Iru is going to be here this year. But like Iru's been at conferences in the past. Dave Murphy, he's one who I met at one of the FEICs. And like Mark Devlin, I went over there to meet Mark, right? He didn't come over here. I went over there. So I'm actually not sure if Mark has been to the US for a Flat Earth conference before. Mark Devlin, not Mark Sargent. But that's interesting. That's kind of cool. I hope I'm the first person to bring Mark over for a Flat Earth conference. That'd be great. Buenos dias, amigos. Buenos dias. Did I say dios? I suck at Spanish. Because I never speak it. No one around me speaks it. And so, like, I was better when I lived in California and there was a bunch of Mexicans that lived around me and they all taught me Spanish. But now I've lost a lot of it. I would like to learn Spanish, though. I wish I knew Spanish. It's one thing I wish I had done, is learn Spanish. So anyway, that's what's going on. If you haven't got your ticket yet for Flattoberfest, you can use ThanksBob, code ThanksBob, to get 10% off. 10% off. I just felt like, if we finally got an event going in Las Vegas, and especially after losing Bob, that we might get, more participation from the cool kids club. But no, they just want to be whatever. You'd think, even when I had ODD play, like come and perform, like ODD was cool. He came and participated in the events, and then his, friends wouldn't come and like support him. I'm over it. I don't care anymore about people's delicate sensitivities. They need to indoctrinate our children because their lifestyle is unsustainable. Oh yeah, I don't care about people's sensitivities either. Screw all that. They are our neighbors, so matter what America says, yeah. I mean, how do you deal with the woke agenda? Just mock it, I guess. Mock it, deny it, don't accept it. You know, I saw a video on Twitter where they tried to do like a LGBTQ like pride thing in Lebanon, and they got the ever-living shit beat out of them. They were made bloody and told to kick rocks. And now, look, I don't condone violence, but why? Why do you need a parade to go around and tell everybody that you like to suck cock? Like, seriously, why do you need a fucking parade to go tell everybody how much you like to get, you know, gangbanged in the butt by a bunch of dudes, and you're a dude and you're like, dude, sword fight, blah, 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 I love it. Like, who fucking cares, dude? Who cares? You know, it's like, it's just do whatever you're gonna do. Mind your own fucking business. Keep your personal shit in the bedroom and leave the children alone. Like, what are you doing? At this point, you know, I'm not even mad at people who do get violent, because it's ridiculous and stupid. And clearly, like, and I was asking Ted, because Ted and I are, you know, really close to the same age. We're Gen Xers. You know, we grew up in the 80s and 90s. I'm like, what the hell happened, dude? How did everything spiral and get so fucked up so fast? Like, seriously, so fast. It went from like, it's okay to be gay, like, we don't care, nobody cares, just do your own thing in your own place and it's cool. Like, people who are straight don't need to be having sex on the street for you to know that they're straight, right? Like, that's not a thing that they need to do. So when you feel like you need to like have sex in public or perform, you know, mock sexual acts in public to show everybody how much you like cock when you're a dude or whatever you're doing, there's something wrong with that. That is just wrong. It's not okay. Like, what are you doing? What kind of demented, demoralizing kind of filth shit? What is this? Who needs that? Does that improve anybody's quality of life? Hell no. It doesn't. In fact, it's making everything fucking worse. The woke is a lot like the Big Bang. It's just stupid. Heterosexual parade. It's so dumb. Who needs it? Straight pride. But it's like, didn't even care, dude. I had a lot of gay friends in California. A lot of them. Some of them were some of my best friends. And we were all good. In fact, my one friend who was gay, he had a son. Okay, it was like the birdcage where when he was in high school, he had a girlfriend and they fucked around and he got her pregnant and she had the baby. And then later, like, he became gay and didn't want anything to do with women, but they had this son, right? He was always a good dad for his son. He was always a father for, like, I always had so much respect for my friend because he did not expose his son to anything, like none of that weird freaky deaky, like wasn't pushing it on him. His son even grew up and like liked girls and was not promiscuous. He taught his son to, you know, keep it in his pants and be very respectful. And he was a very handsome young man. And he raised a great young man. And he was a gay man that did it. But he had morals and values. And he wasn't all about like, you know, what it is now. This weird freaky deaky shit that's going on. Like, he wore men's clothing and dressed like a man. Like, it was glittery and stuff and like shiny. But it was boy clothes, right? And he's a clothing designer, you know, but it's like, what happened to that? Why do we get away from that? Because I actually knew other people like that too. And it was cool, right? Their kids grew up fine. They They weren't being groomed into being somebody else's butt boy, right? It was just a thing. It was, it wasn't the way it is now. It didn't turn into this weird shit. And now it is. And I don't understand it. If that is what it's become. It was born out of being oppressed. It was actually raided back in the 60s. Exactly. Right? It was. And I don't approve of violence, right? But when it's like people doing weird shit in the street and like exposing children to this degenerative behavior, like dressing up in S&M or dressing up or whatever, or been running around naked and putting your genitals in everybody's face. This is not normal behavior. I don't care what sexual orientation you are. I wouldn't be happy with a straight person doing this either. Like if there were two straight people getting naked and like having sex out in the street, I'd be like taking my kids and I'd be running. I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Somebody turn a hose on those people, right? Like, it's not okay. It's not okay. Society itself has, yes, exactly. I agree. You flat smacked your mailman yesterday in 10 minutes. He was blown away. Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I know, Gregory. It's gone from one extreme to the other, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, extremism is just not good. In any direction. And extremism is pushed because it is divisive. Right? A large, hairy, bearded dude in fishnet stockings is altogether an awful... You know what, John? You're not kidding. I used to work with when I lived in the Bay Area, I worked with a dude, and he was a gay dude, and he was like, he wore flannels and cargo shorts and hiking boots, and he had a beard, and he just looked like a dude. Okay, apparently I learned later that that's what a bear is. No offense to Owen Benjamin people, but that's what it was called when a man was like manly man, but he was gay. He liked other dudes. And like he got a boyfriend, and his boyfriend looked like a lumberjack too. They both look like dudes who would be like chopping wood. You know what I'm saying? And that was who they liked being together, and everybody was like, okay, cool. And they weren't like polishing each other's knobs in front of everybody or anything like that. There was no like inappropriate public display of affection, which happens between straight people too. Like, keep your sexual behavior behind closed doors. Nobody needs to see that. Howdy, none taken. Seriously. I mean, I've seen like the full range. I mean, I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, so I've seen like the full range of gay. I've seen the full range of gay. The lipstick lesbians, the chicks who are super hot, and the dudes are like, hey, what's up? And she's like, fuck off. I don't want anything to do with you. You know, and then she's hanging out with like the butch lesbian chick, you know, who looks like a dude. All that, everything in between. And I even grew up seeing people, like dudes dressed like chicks and what quote unquote trannies. Except back then, it wasn't a derogatory thing to call them a tranny. That's just what they were. I mean, maybe it was derogatory, but nobody ever said, don't call me a tranny. It's you know, nobody ever said that. So, I don't know. Bears chopping wood. We took back bear and we're taking back the rainbow. There you go. We should take back the rainbow. Problem is men. Problem is men wanting to be women. That's the fucking problem. The problem is women wanting to be men. That's the fucking problem. Women, I miss the days when boys were boys and girls were girls. Boys were boys and girls were girls. Some boys liked boys, some girls liked girls, but in general, it was boys and girls like boys and boys like girls. And then there was the somewhere in between. That was fine. I thought that was okay. That lasted for like a minute. What feels like now it was only like a minute. And now everything is insane again. But it's like insane the other direction. Remember like how Gregory was just bringing up how gays used to be beat up, right? They would be attacked. Like there's that story of that guy, I can't remember his name, forgive me, but the guy who was like killed. He was like killed in a little small town because he was found out to be gay and they killed him. It's just, but now it's the other way, right? Now you've got the transsexuals like being all violent and crazy, and it's insane. But do you see how extremism on either side is just not good? Can we just agree to leave the children alone? Us men fuck up everything. It's possible it could get worse due to declining testosterone and estrogen intake, uprise, and many peeps with severe hormones imbalances. They add social media and kaboom. Yeah, man. Yes, Brian, exactly. The degraded, food supply, poison everywhere in the air, the water, plastics, right? It's all over the place. The children are the target for all agendas, right? Because they know if they get the children that they can indoctrinate them to continue their bullshit. And so, again, this is why I as soon as that whole crap went down with the pandemic, I took my children out of school and I immediately started homeschooling them, and I did so for 3 years straight. I'm still homeschooling my daughter. I finally agreed to let my son go back to public school because he's 13. Well, he's going to be 13. Well, he's 13 years old and he's about to be 14. And he's about to go to high school. And I kind of already had kind of resolved that I would let them go to public high school, because I feel like the beginning of the education is actually more important for homeschooling. If you start out homeschooling and you homeschool like through the primary school, like the elementary school age up into around the junior high age, I feel like you can feel pretty assured. I mean, you'll know because you know your child. But for me, I felt like that we had enough personal time. He had spent enough time with me. We had enough conversations that he understands, how to look at things critically, because that's what I want. I just want him to look at things critically and ask questions, right? So I felt comfortable enough to then let him go and be part of that so that he can, make friends. It's easier for them, because it is easier for them to make friends and hang out and do all that stuff. And he's getting to that age where he needs to start going and being on his own more. But as long as you put that foundation down, and and that's when they want them. That's why they want moms to go back to work right away. That's why they only give you 6 to 8 weeks maternity leave, and then they're like, okay, go put your child in daycare. Don't be bonding with your child. No. Let that child just be raised by the system. It's much better, because then they perpetuate the system. They become defenders of the system because the system raised them. You know what I'm saying? So if you keep your children, through that age, I feel like that's the most important part, The most important part to the gay woke agenda. Yeah. But, you know, I told my son if any of that crap starts going on, that he's coming right back out. I told him that's my line in the sand. If they start pushing masks and they start pushing that woke crap, out, right back out. I said, that's my line in the sand. He's like, oh, I don't think that'll happen, because from what he was telling me so far, he doesn't think that will happen, so. There's a whistle. Yeah, as a single dad. Well, that's part of... See, that's the problem, because most families are broken up, right? So most families have been broken up, and the dad... And they also make it so that you can't live off one income. This is all part of the plan, right? So they make it so the mom and the dad both have to work their asses off to survive, and then the child gets to be raised by the state, right? And then everybody's so busy working, and there's so much stress on the family, and they don't get enough time together. Mom and dads get divorced like never before now, right? The family has been destroyed. The family union's been destroyed. I mean, I am no better. I've been through divorce, you know, but it's, you know, everybody's got their own things that they got to go through, but, you know, that's how it is. It's so difficult to find families that stay together now. And it's like, man, if you can get your family to stay together, you're winning at life. If you can just keep your family together. And you would think that that's like, shouldn't be such a hard thing to do, but it is. It really is. Which is why, you know, another thing I really love about flat earthers, so many of them are so aware of that, and they're building families. You know, they're having babies. They're not afraid of having babies in this world. They know they need to have those babies. We need to have those babies, and we need to raise more natural, you know, unpoisoned, as much as we can, children, right? And we need to teach them how to live, you know, for themselves and take care of themselves and be critical thinkers and to not be slaves. Raise them to not be slaves. Raise them to live for themselves, you know? This is what we got to do. So many agendas. Yeah. High school is or once was a rite of passage. Yeah. Oh, thank you, MFT. I try. Sometimes I feel like I'm a failure, and I can't say I've never let them down. But I do the best I can. And if your train's on time, you can get to work by 9 and start. So yeah. Thank God for second chances. This world ain't suitable for human life, but that's exactly what it's made for, though. That's the thing. This place is made for us. It is made to nurture and foster and care for human life. That is exactly why this place exists. See? And it's the darkness that's making it seem like it's not. And if we succumb to the darkness and let it take over, then that's what will happen. That is what will happen. But are you just going to let it? Are you just going to let it? Are you going to let the darkness take you over? Like Atreyu's horse? Are you going to sink in the mud? Not me. I'm going to fight till the bitter end. Well, this is the third time I've subbed you. Put my boy in homeschooling because of me and him. He learned something but thought he knew everything. Once he graduated, I'm pro high school for others. Yeah. Critical thinking exited public school around 89 or so, the same time as Jesus got the boot. Just got here after listening to Mark's recent interview. As always, without you, who's just so. No, Mark is awesome. Mark is the best. Mark Sargent is my homie. I jumped over here because my YouTube kept pausing for some reason. Yeah, YouTube throttles me, I think. Run Boston Bear. So yeah, if you guys you know, if you do have problems on YouTube, Rockfin, Rumble, also stream on Facebook, and I think that's it right now. Bring back dads with balls and moms without a sharp tongue. Yeah. Problem is lack of dads. Annie D, I kind of agree. You know, I grew up without a dad. And because I grew up without a dad, I didn't really know what a dad or a husband was supposed to be. And so I picked poorly. I picked shitty dads and husbands for myself. And that's how I ended up divorced twice. You see what I'm saying? Like, people need, children need to be taught that the relationship between a man and a woman is like mutual respect and love, and then the woman does what she can do for the relationship and the man does what he can do for the relationship, and those things are inherently different because men and women are different. And that is why the union builds the bond and makes the family strong. Teamwork makes the dream work, y'all. Right? And so when these children grow up without that, they have no idea how it's supposed to be. And then that's like, it's like in scripture when it says, your wrongdoings the curse will continue to the sons of your sons for generations, because it's like that, it's that cycle of dysfunction, right? And so we have to end that cycle. We have to consciously work to end the cycle. How do we get out of it? We educate ourselves out of it. We work on ourselves. We do the work, and we end that cycle, right? So that's what we need to do. Two different woes. How dare you? Your pastor is listening to Mark's Flat Earth Clues. Awesome! Flat Earth Clues is a great series. After my dad left when I was in high school, my sister and I went nuts and drove my mom nuts. Makes me sad. Yeah, dude, it is extremely hard on the family, especially the children when the family breaks up. Like, extremely hard. Extremely hard. Devastating. It's devastating. And it happens all the time. And it's sad. What's a dad? Yeah. I wish I was a wise flat earther before having a kid. Yeah. Dads are strength and structure of the home. Absolutely. Right? And this needs to be brought back. Like, this whole, empowering of women and feminism is the demasculation of men. It's women thinking that they don't need men. And you fucking do. You do. And vice versa. Men need women, right? As nurturers, caretakers. Men's not gonna, their line is not gonna continue unless they have a woman to birth their heir and raise that child, right? So yes, and women need men for sustenance, for protection. There's certain things that I can't do. And I'm telling you what, when I got Ted and Ted came to live with me, it was like such a relief because I wasn't having to do everything myself anymore. I need a man. I needed that man. And so I'm thankful for him. And I don't understand why people can't recognize that. Why is it so hard? It's so hard for people to recognize that we need each other. One thing that's funny about Mark S is he's always, I don't blame them because I would do the same thing. Oh, he's a shit talker too. I love Mark though. He's the bomb. Make dads number one again. That's right, Billingtano. I'm sorry, Keto Cheeto. That's rotten. It's really rotten for a mom to take the children away from the dad. You know? I thought I needed a man too, but this dump has other ideas. Cats. Cats. Shout out to Ted. Yes. Hey man, I thought I was gonna be like married to my dog. I was gonna marry Sir Remington. I was being like, that's it, you're my dude. Because I ain't having any of this bullshit anymore. It does. For real. Yeah, it does. Well, Carrie doesn't put up with any shit. You became a dad again the same year I became a granddad? Whoa, crazy, Dr. Bass Ackwards. Hey, but you know what? As long as you're there for your children and your grandchildren, right on. Props. Dude, I'm sorry, you guys, about moms turning your children against you. I really am. That's terrible. You know what? My ex was an abusive MFer. And I didn't do that. And sometimes I wish I had. But I didn't. Because children are not a weapon. And they aren't meant to be manipulated to use as a weapon against another person. And the only thing you're doing in the end is you're screwing up your own children. So, I'm really sorry about that. I really am sorry to hear about that, you guys. Yeah, you know what? That's crazy. There's 3 of you now in the chat who have had that experience that I know of. My ex did the same with my daughters. But I have them living in the same town as me now, and we are doing good. Got 3 grandchildren to boot. At least my ex didn't brainwash them against me. Bill Wheel. Okay, well, that's good. You see how manipulative? That's so terrible. And it's terrible that women have been made to think that that's okay. I mean, seriously, that is just not okay. You see how effective they have been at destroying the family? I mean, wow. Make it 4? Yeah. Wow, you guys. I'm so sorry. My ex tried to sabotage my relationship with my children. It backfired because they're now seeing through her nonsense without me having to say anything. Benny boy, that's it. That's it. You know, that was my thought process, you know, because and you know what? I'll say this. My ex did try to manipulate my children and turn them against me. And we ended up going to court over it. And then the court took my son into the judge's chambers and had a conversation with him without either of us in the room. And he came out and it was completely obvious to him that he had been coached, coerced, manipulated, and everything was dismissed. And yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work, but he tried. He tried. So I feel your pain. I feel your pain because he tried. But just know that those children are going to grow up, you know, eventually. Just be there for them. They're going to grow, or whenever, you know, they may reach out at one point, you know, something will change, or you'll get an opportunity. And then they'll see for themselves what was really going on. And then it's really going to look bad for the other parent. It's not going to be good. It's really not going to be good. They do see through it. They're very, you know, children are very smart. They're a lot smarter than you think they are. And they're very observant. You know, they see it. They get it all. That's why going through the divorce destroys them so bad. That's why it hurts them so bad. They see it and feel it all. I need a good man too, Karen B. Bring on the FE singles. Right? That's really, you know what, Carrie, I really want to focus on that, you know? I bought these URLs and I haven't built the websites up, and I think I'm going to do that after the event. I really want to focus on this matchmaking thing that I've been sort of having in the background. I think I'm just going to move forward with it. I'm going to dive into that. That might be my new thing. I'm here whenever they're ready, prodigal son and all that. Good for you, Billingtano. And I don't know if you're able to like send them birthday cards or gifts or anything like that. Maybe, you know, sometimes when it's older, it's easier to just go directly to them and find them directly and give them stuff. But you know, just always let them know you're there. They'll come back. I'm a single flat earth man. Oh, we've got callers on the line. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen, it's Alex Javier.
Hi.
Hey.
What's going on?
I call in because, yes, I'm camping in Jack's backyard, and we're going camping later on in Tennessee. Whoop-de-doo.
With who?
Jack.
Oh, okay.
Just Jack.
Oh, you guys are going camping in Tennessee?
Yep. I met up with him yesterday. I'm here. Well, I'm all back here in my tent.
Right on. Are you enjoying your time there?
Yeah, so far, pretty good. He picked me up from the airport. I actually flew in because I was going to drive, but my car was not having it. And then he did some errands on the way back and swung by Cammie's house. I met Cammie, yay.
Oh, awesome.
That was cool.
Cammie is one of my most favorite people on the plane.
Yes. Yes. Gave her a big hug, and then we moved on to another guy he's friends with. He passed out t-shirts. Jack was very excited about it. And we came back here. Met his whole crew. And,
right on.
Trying to stay quiet because people are still sleeping, but
it's 10:30.
I know, right? We stayed up really late.
Oh, okay.
Stayed up really late. Like, really late. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll run into you guys, and if not, I'll see you at Flattoberfest.
All right. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, I got my ticket. I still just have to figure out, where I'm staying and all that, so.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people scrambling, looking around. There's a Telegram group. I don't know if you're in it. Maybe some of you people can like get together and share an Airbnb or something. But yeah, there's a few people still looking for a room, so.
Yeah, if anybody's out there listening, maybe you want to do that, rock and roll.
Yeah, you guys.
Airbnb sound cool.
Yeah. All right.
And yes, I'm a single guy out there, ladies, so.
There you go.
I'm one of the good ones.
Right on. I would love to see some people meet at the event. It's the best place for it. It really is. Because like the big elephant in the room question is like you don't even have to worry about that. You just have to worry about whether or not you have, a connection with somebody, or if you guys get along, because you already know, you both know you don't live on a globe.
Yeah. And I know that majority will be pure blood, so even better.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah. Right on. All right. Well, I just want to say hey, and I'll catch you later.
All right. Thanks for calling.
Say hi to Ted for me.
Okay. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Yes. There's actually a lot of people who selected yes for the single flat earther on the ticket. I actually still am not 100% sure what I'm going to do for the singles, but I'm going to do something. I'm going to figure it out. That's part of what I got to figure out in the next couple weeks. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Grand Rising, it's Run Boston Bear. How are you, Karen?
Hey, good. How are you?
Fantastic. I got my grocery shopping done, put it all away, listening to a great show. You started it off with a bang. And I wanted to give you an update. Mark is awesome. I called Mark Sargent, just his number that he has posted, and left him a voicemail because I was like, I'm panicking. I need to get a hold of Karen. He called me right back. We talked for a little bit because I booked the Sam's Town in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I was just so upset because I booked it back in May. And I couldn't find any rooms or anything available in Sam's Town. Now, for anybody listening, they do have availability for Friday, or they did have availability for Friday and Saturday, but Sunday was the night that's like overbooked. So you could always book a shorter stay and see if people, don't show up, or, if you can finagle staying there, or maybe moving room to room. But anyway, I tried reservation.com, and they did have availability, even though it's $200 more. I am going to be in the host hotel. So that's all resolved, and I'm excited about that.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're able to get a room.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. 18 days away. Can you believe it?
No, I'm freaking out.
Yeah. I'm super excited about it. This is my first official flat earth event since waking up 2 years ago. And I'm coming to the most epic one where everybody's going to be there and get to meet face to face.
There's going to be a lot of people there. A lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I looked over the list. It's going to be some great presentations. I'm looking forward to the sound bath. It's just going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And your previous caller said Tennessee, I think. Isn't that where he's camping?
Well, he's at just Jack's house, and Jack lives about an hour south of me in South Carolina. But I think later they're going to be going to Tennessee for a camping trip in a park, I think, or something. I think I remember Jack talking about that, but there's just too much going on for me to retain that kind of information.
Yeah, it's a beautiful area. I just left there. The whole family went to Chattanooga, and I'd never been to Chattanooga. I raced the Ironman there last Sunday, and I kind of been off the chats and have fallen behind on all the Telegram and all the streams just because I was focusing on training and taking care of the family and prepping up for this big event. Knocked that out. Got 139 place out of 1,266 people. Took me 11 hours, just a little over. But gorgeous area. We went into Ruby Falls, which is this cave walk where you go down an elevator shaft and you walk a half a mile into the mountain, and you end up being over 1,000 feet under the mountain, and there's a waterfall. Have you ever heard of it or been there?
No. Where's that at?
It's called Ruby Falls, and it's in Chattanooga. It's a fantastic adventure. I mean, they put lights in there, colored lights, and it's all, industrialized or whatever, but there's an original origin story of the guy, Jack, that found the place, and he crawled a few hours in, and it was only 12 to 18 inches of a gap that he could crawl in to see what it was with a lantern, an oil lantern. And then before he found the waterfall way in there, and I mean, it falls from way above down just to a middle pool. They say he crawled 17 hours, and then they ended up using this elevator shaft to extract all the rock as they dug it out and actually made a path they could walk. And his woman, Ruby, used to go down in there and read and sleep. I mean, it's real quiet. There's no bathrooms, so you got to go to the bathroom before you hit it because it's an hour tour. But it was really neat to see the stalactites and stalagmites, and I think you would have loved it.
Ooh, that looks really cool.
Yeah.
I love stuff like this.
Yeah, it's super neat. And they said we don't really know where the water's really coming from, and we tested it. They put dye in the water a long time ago, and they said some of it comes out in the Tennessee River. That's the river that the Ironman we swam. We swam downriver, which was really cool because it was my fastest swim ever for the 2.4 mile swim. But yeah, it's just really, really neat experience for the whole family.
Yeah.
And speaking of the family, I'm married 10 years to my best friend, and I mean, if I was to tell anybody listening, I had a train wreck of an experience dating, like all through high school and all through college. I always dated people that just seemed, I mean, I was broken. I was a wreck, and I would always find people that also had a lot of issues, and my mindset was like, hey, maybe we can help each other out and we'll support each other and this is going to be great. And it was like love at first sight. I was always falling in love super fast, but then it would become, I wasn't fixing her problems as well as I should have in her mind, and she wasn't taking care of me. And next thing you know, we have animosity and it's not even, and we're real upset with each other. And it always ended up being massive drama. And I took 3.5 years off, found a relationship with the creator, actually looked at nothing bad on the internet, stopped looking at women as, objects or, because it wasn't just like a sexual thing. It was like I looked at women as you could probably make me feel better. If I found the right love and the right friendship with you, I would stop being such a mess, and that was just the wrong way of going about it. But after my 3 years off, the creator lined me up with my wife now, and it's just so balanced. There's transparency, there's vulnerability. The main thing is you have to have communication. You have to talk about what's going on, in your life, in your mind. Are you having high energy, low energy? Are you stressed, depressed? Because, there's ups and downs in a relationship, and you're not always going to be on cloud nine. But yeah, we don't raise our voices at each other. We've never fought or left the room, none of that stuff. Just talking it out, and it's a blessing. So never give up on love, because if I can come from where I was to where I'm at now with 3 beautiful small kids and a healthy whole marriage, I don't deserve what I've got. It can happen for you. So I just want to encourage you.
That is a wonderful testament. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Good for you for doing that, for taking the time to work on yourself, because that is the one thing that most people don't want to do. And it is so important. It's so important to be able to, to work on yourself and to get to that point where you're confident enough to be alone. And then you get to the place where you attract another partner like that. And then you can start building a fantastic, strong relationship. So really, that's good. Thank you for saying that. I think a lot of people should hear that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Right.
Yeah, I got to give credit to the maker, because I couldn't have figured it out. I couldn't have decoded or untangled the web of mess without the help of God. But I didn't know I was sick. I was sick. I was thinking about relationships wrong. I was going about the whole thing wrong. It wasn't very open and free. There were all these constraints, and I had all these preconceived or notions and ideas of what I wanted. And anyway, thanks for saying that. It really is worth it to hang on to hope. Just take it a day at a time. One of my other things I always say is you got to take care of your body, because if you're dehydrated or if you're hungry, that can really throw off your mood, and you can get into a downward spiral and you don't really know what's going on. If you're finding yourself kind of desperate or just freaking out, especially in this day and age with all this wild stuff going on, be hydrated, be well fed, take a nap, pray, and then address any issue you've got, because you can't try to take care of the issue first if you're in a weakened state.
Yes.
But yeah, I know I'm taking a bit of time. I wanted to drop a couple more things on you, though. My daughter's 7 years old, and we've been talking about, biblical creation or biblical cosmology, and she has gotten on fire about the truth of our realm. And I'm not saying this is 100% what it is, babe. I just tell my daughter, man says they've figured it all out. Man says that everything is material and it's all gaseous planets and infinite space and dark energy and dark matter. I said, but honey, they're just doing their best to find what they believe the truth is. But I don't think that that's reality. I think that we're stable, we're fixed, we're not spinning, we're not a planet. I think that it's an extended plane, topographical plane with a firmament over it. And now she's coming to me and my wife, and she's like, "Look, Dad, it's a globe. They're showing another globe." Like in all her cartoons, everywhere she sees a globe, she's like, "Oh, yuck, a globe." Kind of funny. But I wanted to give a shout out. To Josh from Founded Earth Brothers. He started a new channel recently, just like a few weeks ago, called Creation Standard. Write that down, Creation Standard on YouTube, because it's a curriculum and it's going to be free for a year, where it's just getting kids and or new people to the subject, just to look at what is this place that we live. He's a science teacher. He's making great content. There's not very many videos on there yet, but check it out, because I'm going through it with my daughter, and it's been really neat.
Awesome. I actually want to talk to that guy. I need to talk to that guy. I need to talk to Josh.
Yeah, he's epic.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's cool.
I'll shoot you.
I'm glad that they're doing that.
I'll shoot you his email. I don't know if it's his personal email, but it's his email associated with Creation Standard, and he just says anybody email him if they want to be on like the mailing list. So you could probably holler at him through that. And then last thing, yesterday I listened to Rockfin. When Globebusters went from YouTube to Rockfin, the first section, Austin kind of gave a sneak preview of kind of what his next stream's going to be about, and it's pretty intense. It's pretty wild. I'm not scared by what he said, but it just talks about like the whole zombie thing, and y'all need to check out, if you have Rockfin, go listen to Globebuster from yesterday. The first 20 minutes or so, it was pretty amazing.
Okay. Does it have to do with the upcoming test broadcasting thing?
Well, I've looked into that, like the 4th and the 10th. They're like, be careful. I mean, I might turn my phone off and my Wi-Fi off just because, but I'm not living in fear about it. But it has been shown that they've done a lot of testing where they like activate things in mice,
I know.
And that's what Austin talked about a little bit. It's freaky.
Yeah.
So my wife isn't as awake. She's not as awake as me, and she's in the medical field. And I told her, I said, hey, there's something that might happen. It might not. Nothing at all might happen. But if people around you start being really weird, like you've never seen before weird, get out of there. Just come home. You know what I mean? I'm giving her the heads up, because we don't know how real the technology is or how real of a threat there could be or could not be. So I just am helping everybody to get their head on a swivel, be aware, be ready to just, hunker down or protect yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, anyway, you know me, I'm always about prayer. And if you don't mind, I'm going to close off my little call with a short prayer.
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks a lot. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the journey that you've helped me to be on, and a lot of people in the chat and that are in this community that were deceived, that did not know about all the deceptions and then started to look into it. I know that we're attacked a lot of the times as being crazy or way out there, but honestly, I think we're closer to reality or what really is the truth than the people that are asleep. So I want to lift up the people that can't see, because they're probably just laughing or they're confused. They don't know what we know. They don't know what we've seen. So help them to have their eyes opened, because ultimately this is about freedom, human freedom, to not be oppressed or lied to or pushed into a corner or controlled. So help wake up all your children. And with this Flattoberfest coming up in Vegas, I just pray over safe travels for everyone coming in from the States and overseas. Help the whole event to go smooth, and for everyone there to be protected, and for folks to have a great experience. Just help Austin as he's unpacking and everything is going on with them looking for his sister. I don't know the full details on that, but if she has not been found, please help the folks that are looking for her to have success and for her to be okay. And then Sean at Kingdom in Context, I want to lift up his wife. I know she's about to go into labor. Help that to go well. And thank you for everything Karen's doing with Coffee Talk and just her whole channel and her whole motivation to help people see the truth. I know that she and a lot of people like her are attacked unnecessarily. So thank you for your guidance. And we pray all this in Yeshua's holy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thanks for the long call. I'll keep listening. I'm going to mow the yard and just see what everybody else has to say. But you have a blessed day, Karen.
All right. Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, man. It's crazy all the stuff that's going on. Especially never tell your partner. Yeah. I don't think that. Yeah, I agree that when Run Boston Bear says he doesn't deserve his wife. Yeah, you do, because you did the work, my friend. You do deserve it because you did the work. And when you do the work and then you get the reward, you deserve it. So it's good. What are y'all talking about? Test, electric something? Oh, well, apparently, so there's this, let me see, where did I have the link to it? Here we go. FEMA and FCC plan a nationwide emergency alert test for October 4th, 2023 at 2:20 p.m. Eastern. National test will consist of two portions, testing WEA and EAS capabilities, emergency alert system and wireless emergency alerts. Both tests are scheduled to begin at approximately 2:20 p.m. Estimated or Eastern Time on Wednesday, October 4th. The WEA portion of the test will be directed to all consumer cell phones. This will be the third nationwide test, but the second test to all cellular devices. Because remember, they did this a couple years ago. Well, a few years ago, I think it was actually 2020. Right around the time the thingy started. Test message will display in either English or in Spanish. EAS portion of the test will be sent to radios and televisions. This will be the 7th nationwide EAS test. FEMA and FCC are coordinating with EAS participants, wireless providers, emergency managers, and other stakeholders in preparation for this national test to minimize confusion and to maximize the public safety value of the test. Purpose of the October 4th test is to ensure that the systems continue to be effective means of warning the public about emergencies, particularly those on a national level. In case the October test is postponed due to widespread severe weather or significant events, the backup testing date is October 11th. So October 4th or October 11th. So those are why those two dates are floating around. That's what's going on. And so, of course, this got out. Everybody got word of it. And now everybody is saying that when the test goes out, it is going to possibly activate any sort of things that have been injected into people or inserted into people that maybe might have self-assembled in people over the last 3 years and turned into little, little ticking time bombs that once these signals go out at a certain frequency will trigger said thing and start a zombie apocalypse. Now, I mean, it could happen. I don't know. But I tend to think that's not going to happen. But maybe it's not going to happen because we talked about it. Who knows? Sometimes you got to wonder, well, everybody talked about this and then it didn't happen. Well, did it not happen because we figured it out first? Or did it not happen because it wasn't going to happen in the first place? Well, who knows? I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where you don't really want to live in fear about it. Who doesn't have to worry? People who didn't get those things inserted into them over the last few years. I know I didn't. And I know I haven't allowed my children to. And I know Ted hasn't. So I don't really worry about it. It is worrisome for other people maybe. But I don't know. $10-4, good buddy. Right? I am original from East Texas and live here now. I have run the Boston Marathon every year. I have settings on my phone that says government and FEMA alerts off. There you go. That's all you gotta do. What time actually? Well, it says 2:20. They definitely want you paying attention to them, right? Brian is mad deep with the rainbow community. Ha! I didn't get it because I switched it off in the settings on my phone. Yeah, could just turn it off. Be waiting with 12 gauges of response. Yeah. Been to Ruby Falls back in the day, totally cool. I want to go there now after seeing that. I would like to go. Y2K effect. Yeah. So that's the rumor going around. That's the deal. You can just, turn your phone off at that time, or tell your family members to turn their phones off at that time. Leave it off all for an afternoon or whatever. Or turn the little thing, the preferences off in your phone to not get emergency alerts. Yeah. Mark Sargent likes to talk about this. In fact, it is basically the subject of tomorrow's Strange World. So tomorrow's Strange World is called This is a Test. I'll show you the thumbnail. This is only a test. Strange World 427. So we'll be making all kinds of jokes about that tomorrow. And it'll be the day before, because it'll be the 3rd. Today's the 2nd, so it's 2 days from now. Okay? Because we don't have enough systems. I want to be on the alert list. You do? If they use it, look at Lahaina. Well, yeah. But this is like for national alerts. What would a national alert be? The aliens are coming! We're being invaded! You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just wondering what... Ooh, did somebody tip me? Oh, Rum Boston Bear gave me a tip. Thank you, Rum Boston Bear. Appreciate your support. Yeah. See, you can give me a super chat on this channel and YouTube doesn't get any. It's probably bet for the best. You're gonna do a mobile multi-stream during the test time, Brian? Faraday cage, unplug and pull batteries, hide from Wi-Fi and cell signal. I saw another guy on Twitter talking about Twitter or X, whatever. X, formerly known as Twitter, which is still at twitter.com. For October 4th is the next big thing. We all gonna die. See, you guys are freaking everybody out. Simulated crisis coming, FEMA, FCC.
target all an emergency alert test which will target all consumer cell phones, all cellular devices, all radios, and all televisions displaying a test message. You know what I'm talking about? No matter where you're at, they got you. And they're going to get this test alert to you. Okay, you're watching TV. I don't watch TV anymore. And I want you to think through this with me. These tests and exercises or drills, if you prefer, are always preceding of or simultaneous with an actual created crisis. Why do you say it like that? Because the crisis is first simulated, then created. What do you mean? Oh, they create the crisis in order to control the reaction and activate the final solution, just as they did with 9/11 and subsequently what we call COVID-19. Did you already forget? Actually, that's biblical. That's not being mean or snarky. All of these operations, Operation Dark Winter, Operation all of the above, all of those were exercises and drills that were simulated prior to that which was created. So, you got my attention. October 4th, you're going to simulate this. Okay.
What's being simulated?
Well, let's do this.
Or is it just the test?
Because it's exactly what my Bible says is going to happen. Okay. Question. What are they waiting for? Answer.
I don't get it. Should I keep playing this? What is he talking about? What's being simulated? FCC planned nationwide emergency alert. Simulated crisis coming? All wireless phones should receive the message only once. The following can be expected of the nationwide WEA test. Beginning at approximately 2:20 p.m., cell towers will broadcast the test for approximately 30 minutes. During this time, WEA-compatible wireless phones that are switched on within range of an active cell tower and whose wireless provider participates in WEA should be capable of receiving the test message. For consumers, the message that appears on their phones will read, "This is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No action is needed." Phones with the main menu set to Spanish will display, "Esta es una prueba del Sistema Nacional de Alerta de Emergencia." Okay, I'm sorry for all my Spanish-speaking people. I'm sure I just totally butchered that, but I couldn't help but try. WEA alerts are created and sent by authorized federal, state, local, tribal, territorial government agencies through IPAWs and participating wireless providers, which deliver the alerts, blah, 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 blah. Well, so I don't... Yeah, I don't know. I don't... Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about being simulated. It's cut, so I don't really know if I want to keep watching that video. weird. I don't understand why I have K-pop showing up on my... Important. Oh, here's actual FEMA Twitter account. On October 4th, there will be a nationwide emergency alert test on all phones. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh, here's the guy. This is what I'm talking about.
An attorney by the way. How's everybody doing today? I certainly hope you're doing well. In recent interviews, an attorney by the name of Todd Collender has been heard mentioning that there's no way that people could opt out of the emergency test that is going to be conducted by FEMA and the FCC, Federal Communications Commission, on October 4th. That is not true. I myself was in telecommunications for 21 years, and I developed a technique back in 2006 that disallows any signal to come into the phone or to escape the phone. That technique works today, and I'd like to share with you how you opt out of that test that is going to be conducted on October 4th of 2023. Mere days away. You grab some tin foil and you simply crumple the tin foil, not too tight, and then you uncrumple the tin foil. Make sure that when you uncrumple the tin foil that you don't put any holes in it. That's pretty key. Once it's uncrumpled, see like that, and you take your phone, whether it's on or off, it doesn't matter. You place it into the tin foil and you wrap it up as if it were a hot dog. That's it. Have your friend call the phone. 1, it's not going to ring. 2, they can leave a message. And 3, once you unwrap it and the phone registers with the time clock, you'll be able to get that message between 10 seconds and 20 minutes later. Now the reason why this works is because you've turned your phone essentially into, you protected it with a Faraday cage, a very, let's say, rudimentary Faraday cage, but it actually works. And secondly, you've created temporary stealth technology, so when the signal comes in, it deflects off the sharp edges, it goes right back to the tower. This is how you opt out. It's very cheap, it's very effective. Again, if it doesn't work with one rat, wrap it twice. That's it. Have a great day.
I haven't tried that, but it probably works. I will boycott every federal government fear porn psyop event. I do not comply with their propaganda. I do not obey their instructions. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, see, everybody's talking about it. For anyone in the US that needs it, be aware that October 4th FEMA test alert, play a loud sound on your phone, blah blah blah. What does it say? If you choose to turn it off completely during the alert, it will still play whenever you turn on your phone again? I don't think so. Will it? This is hilarious. What is this?
How in the world did he get all these spectators here? I don't know, but the line for the bathroom's gonna be insane.
Oh, is this like from a movie? Oh.
Order ordering all these body bags. In fact, some people are saying millions of body bags are coming out.
I don't know if you guys remember, probably
Oh God, here we
20 years
go.
ago, maybe 15 years ago, there
Fear
was
porn.
all those black plastic cadaver caskets that were everywhere during like the BP spill and all that stuff. Even Alex Jones was really talking about it. All these Walmarts are getting shut down and turned into FEMA concentration camps. There's all these fences going around everywhere, and they're going to start putting us all into these FEMA camps. And then they started blasting all these black multi-use plastic cadaver caskets.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
11/11.
And it could have been for COVID, like this was.
This is proof that something big is about to happen. Why else would they be preparing millions of body bags, sending them out all over the country in unmarked vehicles, in FedEx vehicles? Why would they be doing this?
This was actually based on a 2020 video, and it was most likely for COVID. It was only 100,000 body bags, and it was ordered by Trump, according to NBC News. Like, he knew Trump, knowing that this was not that serious, only ordered 100,000 for America. Like, yeah, we just need 100,000. That's fine.
I don't know about all that. You know, people love to talk about those stupid FEMA camp coffin things. This is kind of creepy, though. Ted and I watched this movie the other day, Cell, where literally people do get zapped by a cell signal. It's kind of creepy.
Hey, don't touch her!
I'm not gonna touch
You might
her!
be contagious!
I'm not gonna touch her! I need to call 911 though! 911!
Yeah, it's all creepy.
Don't use your cell phone. We've been trying, but
We talked about this on Strange World, you know, where they,
At this airport right now before it burns to the ground. You know,
this movie, the Cell movie,
call 911 to their families.
FEMA Mart. Endless fear from shills, yeah. I'm wondering if I should shut my computer down. No, Joel, don't, no. It said cellular devices. I don't think it goes to the computer. I never got any of these emergency alerts on my computer, but I did get it on the cell phone before. Is it from 2010? What now? I have that hard. Kingsman sample. What? I don't get it. What does that mean? Zombies can't swim. Use free phones to get everyone to kill each other. Oh, like all the Obama phones? All the free state phones? Can't watch shit like that. I know. It's ridiculous. And you know what else is funny in this movie? Like, there's scenes in the movie where the cell phone people are like walking around in circles. Like, have you seen those videos of animals walking around in circles or whatever's going on with that? In this movie, it has the people walking around in circles, like they're all out of it. Manifest their shit. Yeah, I agree. Actually, I agree. This is why I don't like perpetuating this stuff, because I do feel like if you dwell on stuff like that, you're helping it happen. It's better to focus on the solutions and like the good things, because you really don't want to focus on their evil crap, right? But this is, people brought it up, so this is what we're talking about, but I'm not pushing it. Honestly don't think everybody's going to turn into a zombie. I would like to think that's not going to happen. I could be wrong. I hope not.
Tests scheduled for 2:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will include wireless emergency alerts, better known as WIA, and the Emergency Alert System, also called EAS. The WIA message will appear on alert-enabled cell phones as text, with attention getting signal and vibration.
So it'll probably show up like on your TV, right? Where it goes, you used to get it on the TV. So it'll probably go to like anything that, and if you're watching TV through cable or anything like that, they'll probably get it. And then, but I don't think it's going to show up on your actual desktop computer. Because they can't really do that. They can't come in and like impede on your computer's operating system without you giving them permission to do it. I would die if I hit a bong again. My lungs can't. Oh. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen B. This is Base Mike D for Life. Hey, I just got a quick little thing to put out there. Those black things for years that people keep calling that to put multiple bodies in for FEMA things, Alex Jones just started this years ago. That's not what they're for. I work at a cemetery. I worked there for 6 years. Those are black poly vaults. What happened is people quit using concrete vaults to put the casket in, and about 20 years ago, everybody switched to black poly vaults, and they look like huge, supersized coffins. But you put the whole coffin down in those, and then seal them over, and then we bury them. Those are not those are not FEMA coffins. Those are just black poly vaults.
Really?
You used to have to put the casket. You used to have to put the casket in concrete, especially here in North Carolina. That was a law. You had to seal it. Well, and that took up so much space, and you had to have a truck that could move those concrete vaults and stuff. So what they did you could still get the concrete ones, but 9 times out of 10, the people just choose the black poly vaults. They're called carbonate vaults. You can look. They're just for putting the coffin in. Those are not FEMA coffins. I for years, that's drove me crazy. I mean, you could put 10 bodies in it if you wanted to, but that's not the purpose of it. It's just to hermetically seal it from the elements, and people have ran with this FEMA coffin shit since Alex Jones started sporting it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's ridiculous. There's just black poly vaults. It's funny. It's hilarious. People want to say they're FEMA coffins.
Interesting.
They're not FEMA coffins. You can go online and probably buy your own. They're huge. They're big enough to put a regular coffin in. I mean, and what they look like they would be you'd put them the way you see them usually on photos, but you flip them upside down like a butter dish. You set the coffin down on the flat part, and then you set that over it like a butter dish. Remember the old butter dishes that had a little, like your grandma and stuff had, and they had a little dish? So that's what it is, but it's a polycarbonate coffin vault. But since Alex Jones has started that, every time people start talking about that, it's FEMA coffins constantly. So, yeah, that's not what those are.
Oh.
So, all right, I'm going to get back to working. I just wanted to start talking about the FEMA coffins. And
all right.
I've tried to get in on Alex Jones like twice on the phone to tell him that online, and I've never been able to get through when he starts talking about that shit. But
all right,
everybody have a great day.
All right,
cool.
Thank you. Fascinating. There you go. Not. I didn't even know that. I didn't know they put coffins in liners. I knew that I thought they used concrete or something. I remember that from my grandma being buried, because my grandpa died many years before her, and she had at the time bought a plot for where she could be buried with him. It was double depth, right? So when they opened it, it was like there was my grandpa's coffin that was still down there. It was like in this like cement thing, and then they put the other coffin on top of it, and that's it. They're both in there. So that's interesting. Are they stackable? Interesting. So there you go. I have that butter dish. Hot tub grave liners. You know what? You could use that for like a hillbilly hot tub. I was trying to see how much they were, but it clicked on something else. Burial vault. See, there it is. Burial vaults. Grave liner. Oh, look at that. Double depth burial vault. Oh, infant and youth one. That's kind of sad. Burial vaults. You know, though, I have to say, why are we putting our dead loved ones inside these expensive caskets, inside a vault, to let them be forever preserved under the ground forever and ever, for whatever? Why? I am a huge fan. I've said this before. We need to bring back the funeral pyre. Funeral pyre. Build it up big. Let it burn big. Boom. That's what's up. That's how I want to go. That's what I want. And I'm wondering I'm wondering what I'm going to have to go through to get that set up before the time comes. I'm not kidding. Why are we perpetually preserving like every dead body? You know, it's like, you know, when the Egyptians or the ancient people used to make mummify their leaders, their pharaohs or whatever, like, you know, that type of thing. Why are we doing that to like literally everybody? I just don't get it. Nobody goes back. Why are you gonna go hang out there? I don't know. I don't get it. I'm pro cremation. Well, now your relatives die in 3. You have. Well, I just think it's kind of silly to like put dead things in these boxes, in these plastic boxes, and just keep it forever. I mean, you're people. Sucker born every minute. Yeah. Livestock watering trough, probably cheaper and less creepy for a redneck hot tub. Yes, Bill Wheel. Wreck it, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't get it. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen B. Tony Coriolis.
Hey, what's up, Tony?
Hey, okay, I've been thinking something. So, when you fly on a plane and they make you put your phone on airplane mode, like, does it really go on airplane mode, and does it really matter anything to the flight? What do you think?
I don't know. I know you're not getting
like,
any.
It's not like if I.
I mean, you're not going to get any cell signal there. We know the cell signal doesn't work there, right? So.
Yeah.
Your phone really.
But still, like, just before takeoff, like, they tell you to put your phone on airplane mode. But if I don't, it's not like they got a scanner like, hey, this guy over here still has his signal emitting, or, I mean, what's the point of us putting it on airplane mode? Is it even anything? Like, does it really shut our phone off? And if it does, why don't we just do that on 10.4?
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe airplane mode does do that.
Yeah.
I know you can't get calls on airplane mode, so.
Yeah, you can't. I just think there still is an aspect to airplane mode where we're just believing our phone is in airplane mode. Like, I try to put my phone on airplane mode just as I go to sleep, but who's to say they're not, like, you know, undercover still giving signals off my phone? Or I don't know. I don't trust the fact of my phone even being in airplane mode. And if it is legit, it should work on 10.4.
Yeah.
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 I mean, there's no way they could turn my phone off airplane mode and put it on. Otherwise, all these planes would crash, right? All these people. So I just think it is illegitimate, whatever it is. I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, airplane mode on the phone. It should maybe save the day on 10.4, but I'm not sure. I haven't heard anyone talk about it.
I don't know. I haven't either. I mean, possibly, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Good question.
Okay. Well, yeah, interesting. We'll see. I like that little. Right as I tuned in, you're talking about that tin foil wrapping your phone thing. So I'm gonna rewatch that. I want to see what they were talking about right there.
Oh yeah. Okay. I think it would work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would. And so I just know I'm just excited for Vegas. I don't got much to talk about. I wanted to mention that little airplane mode on the phone thing because I don't trust it. Tony Coriolis does not trust it. Okay. But probably going to fly to Vegas and be thinking about it on the way there. So.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Very much looking forward to it. I'll see you in a bit.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right. Peace out.
Peace. Yeah, I don't know. That's good. Let's see. Does airplane mode stop emergency alerts? Do emergency alerts work in airplane mode? Let's see. EAS is the nationwide public system, blah, 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 blah. However, in recent years, been increasingly popular way for people saying, blah, blah. With this in mind, many people may be wondering if emergency alerts work when their phone is in airplane mode. The answer is yes. Emergency alerts are designed to reach all possible devices within their broadcast area, regardless of whether they are turned on or off, or if they are using airplane mode. Whether you have a cell phone or a smartphone, if you are within range of the broadcast area when an alert is issued, your device will receive it as long as it's compatible with EAS. For instance, if your device is set up for Wi-Fi calling, then even if it's in airplane mode, your device will still use local cellular network first before routing the call via Wi-Fi calling. Similarly, if you have an LTE-enabled device, then any incoming alerts would continue to be received even when your device is in airplane mode. So there you have it. It will still get the alert in airplane mode. You have to do more than that. However, it's important to note that not all devices may be compatible with EAS and therefore may not receive emergency alerts while in airplane mode. It's also worth mentioning that some phone models may require additional settings or updates in order to ensure that they can receive emergency alerts while using airplane mode. No, airplane mode does not disable emergency alerts. So there you go. Here you go. This is why they're doing it, dude. This is why. Triggers of an emergency alert system. The emergency alert system is triggered by emergencies that pose a significant risk to public safety. This can include natural disasters such as floods, fires, extreme weather such as hurricanes, tornadoes, and blizzards, technological hazards and hazardous material spills, nuclear accidents, and public health emergencies like pandemics or disease outbreaks. Of course. It can also be triggered in response to law enforcement activities, manhunts, active shooters. Emergency alerts are designed to quickly and effectively alert the public of an impending threat so they can take appropriate action to be safe. The main difference between Do Not Disturb and airplane mode is that Do Not Disturb silences all incoming notifications, calls, messages, while airplane mode silences all wireless connections such as Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. In addition, Do Not Disturb also turns off all vibrations on the device, while airplane mode has no effect on vibrations or sound. In short, Do Not Disturb mode turns your device completely silent, while in airplane mode only stops any connection to wireless networks. Do emergency alerts override Do Not Disturb? No! Emergency alerts do not bypass Do Not Disturb. If your phone or tablet is in Do Not Disturb mode, you will not be alerted to any incoming calls, messages, including emergency alerts. You may still see a notification that an emergency alert has been sent, but you won't hear the sound or vibration associated with the alert. So there you go. Do Not Disturb will silence it, but you'll still get the alert. There you go. Question answered. Are you going to talk about the Ring of Fire on Strange World? It's coming in 2 weeks. Yes! We can talk about it now if you want. Resistance is futile. Cell phone alert will assimilate you. Yeah. I recommend smashing your phone with a sledgehammer. Never had a smartphone, never will. Earthship Air, good for you. Just ditch the phones. You know when cell phones first came out, like my mom worked for AT&T, so first thing she did was get me a cell phone, like as soon as they were coming out. She's like, look at this cell phone, isn't this cool? And I was like, I don't want it. But you know, I had just moved out of the house and we were living a couple hours away from each other for the first time. And she's like, but I want to be able to get a hold of you just in case, just take it for emergency. So I took it and then I would never use it. And then one time I had it with me because she was telling me, she's like, take the phone with you. And I was like, fine, I'll take it with me. So then she calls me and I'm driving and I'm on the phone driving and talking. And I was like, Mom, I have to get off this phone. I feel like an asshole. I did not like it. I didn't like it at all. I fought it. But, you know, then, you know, later, when you have children and stuff and you're like, well, then you feel like, well, I need to be gotten a hold of in case something happens with my children or, you know, whatever. Your freaking lame excuses. And that's what happens. That is what happens. Trigger an outbreak. Or trigger an outbreak, yeah. Yeah, it is weird because there is, like, we were talking about this stuff even before we got to this point, before we got to the, oh, half of the world has been injected and blah, blah, blah. We were saying from the very beginning, don't let them put that stuff in you. You know, all the pre-programming with the black goo. A black goo, man, don't let them put the black goo in you. Black goo. Black goo is nanotech. We're more free when our phones were on strings. That's right. When the phones were tethered to the wall, we were free. And now the phone is free and we are on electronic leashes. And the phone went. Okay, you guys, I need a quick break. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Get a little refill, a little warm up. Tin cans with strings. Never had a cup of coffee in your life? It's a shame, Tommy. Check this out. I finally bought myself a Karen B mug, or a Coffee Talk with Karen B coffee cup. Check it out, y'all. Look at that. In my merch store, you too can have a Coffee Talk with Karen B mug. With your cup of truth. Have children and accept the a-hole you must be. Also, I have some cool shirts in my store. This is one of them. It's my vintage flat earth design. It says, genuine, level, and stationary flat earth. No curvature has been measured. No motion has been detected. So you can check that out in my merch store. Excuse my sweaty armpits. But you know, I sweat a lot. I'm verklempt. Your North Carolina mug you got in Karenlandia. Kratom is better than coffee. It's still from the coffee family, but it can be addictive just like coffee. Right? Yeah, I don't need any new habits. I don't need any new habits. That's for sure. Thank you for the tip, Tony Coriolis. Yes, the phone lines are open. In California, you can be turned into liquid fertilizer. Yeah. I've talked about that here. It's that aquamation. It's the Soylent Green. Remember, you guys? Let me remind you. Alkaline hydrolysis. This is what it's called. Body disposal. Alkaline hydrolysis. This is what Soylent Green is, you guys. Biocremation, resomation, flameless cremation, aquamation, or water cremation is the process for the disposal of human and pet remains using lye and heat and is an alternative to burial or cremation. The process is based on alkaline hydrolysis. The body is placed in a pressure vessel that is then filled with a mixture of water and potassium hydroxide and heated to a temperature of around 160 degrees Celsius, but at an elevated pressure, which prevents boiling. Instead, the body is effectively broken down into its chemical components, which takes approximately 4 to 6 hours. A lower temperature and pressure may be used, but for a longer duration. The result is a quantity of green-brown tinted liquid containing amino acids, peptides, sugars, and salts, and soft porous white bone remains, calcium phosphate, easily crushed in the hand, although the cremulator is more commonly used to form a white-colored dust. The ash can then be returned to the next of kin of the deceased. The liquid is disposed of either through the sanitary sewer system or through some other method, including use in a garden or green space. To dispose of 1,000 pounds, approximately 60 to 240 U.S. gallons of water are used, resulting in 120 to 300 gallons of effluent. That's what they call it. After they turn you into a sludge, they call it an effluent, which carries a dried weight of 20 pounds, 2% of the original weight. Alkaline hydrolysis process has been championed by a number of ecological campaigning groups. They're turning you into fertilizer. and producing less carbon dioxide pollutants, right? Because if you burn stuff or you cremate using combustion, carbon dioxide is released into the air, and we just can't have that, you guys. We just can't have any carbon dioxide going into the air because the plants might like that, and we don't want that. It's being presented as an alternative option at some British crematorium sites. They are using it in the United States and a few states. As of August 2007, about 1,000 people had chosen this method for the disposal of the remains in the United States. Operating costs, materials, maintenance, and labor associated with the disposal of 2,000 pounds of remains was estimated at $116.40, excluding the capital investment cost of the equipment. Alkaline hydrolysis has also been adopted by the pet and animal industry. A handful of companies in North America offer the procedure as an alternative to cremation. Now, remember, too, I was showing you that they sell these things to farmers, right? If I can find this company again. Is it this one? No. So basically what they do is they call it an effluent after they're done, because what they're saying is they basically dissolve you back into your base minerals, back into the base minerals. You'd get dissolved from anything resembling a human form back into just base mineral properties. And then you get recycled back into the environment. But where was that company? Remember me looking at that? I think it was this. Aquamation. Pets and farm animals. Here we go. So you get this giant machine, see? And then you put your dead bodies in there, and then you start the process, and it dissolves it. Turns you into an effluent, turns you into a green-brown solution, turns you into soylent green. Viking pyre for me. Thank you, Scott Hunter. That is what I'm saying. Viking pyre for me. I'm not a Viking, but I definitely want the funeral pyre. Black goo is that She Legit that I just bought from Dave Weiss that I put in my coffee. It's kind of good. Oh, I love She Legit. That stuff's great. That's not the kind of black goo that I'm talking about. She Legit's good for you. I'm glad that you're taking it. It's good for you. Quit suffocating the plants. That is purely satanic. Fertile, the fertilizer, yeah. Bugs are saying heck no. I would be cool with fertilizing ganja plants with your dead ass. Oh my god. I would be Soylent Brown. Well, it does say green brown. That's funny. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen.
Hi.
Man, so they're trying to get us to flush our loved ones down the toilet now. Great.
Yeah. Or put them in the garden and then you eat the food that you fertilized with it. And pretty soon they'll just cut that section out too, and you'll just eat the goo.
You notice the timing of this. We started hearing about this crap around 2020.
Yeah.
right when they're amping up all the euthanasia parameters in Canada to include children and homeless people. It's just gross.
Yeah.
Anyway, about the phones. I heard and read somewhere that not only are they sending out all these multiple frequencies to hit all possible devices, so it's multi-frequency, we're going to get the alert for 1 minute, but those frequencies, they admit, are going to continue for a half hour.
Yeah, I was just
and
reading
they don't
that.
explain why.
That they're going to keep sending it for a half
why.
hour. Why?
Yeah, do you know why? Yeah, what the hell is that? I can't imagine what's going on other than experimentation. Anyway, my plan is to have a dead battery all day on Wednesday with the phone out in the car. I think that's probably all you can do.
I think they're going to do it for 30 minutes just so they can get it broadcast out to as many devices as possible. Because it says during this time, it says if you turn the phone on and you're within the range of an active cell tower whose wireless provider participates, you'll get the message.
Okay. I guess that kind of makes sense. Anyway, yeah, for the past 3 years, they've been caught over and over trying to kill us with the injections, so I don't trust it.
Well, yeah,
and not only that, every time they do a false flag like 9/11 and the Boston firecracker, they're doing a drill at the same time. So this is like a drill, right?
Mm-hmm.
So better safe than sorry. Okay, one last point about your coffee mug. The best selling point about that is the handle. You can fit all four fingers into the handle. I love coffee mugs like that.
It's a big one. I always get the bigger ones. It's the 15 ounce or something.
Yeah. Yep. It's nice. I may be getting one.
Awesome.
Okay, that's all I've got.
All right. Cheers.
Bye.
Always a drill when the event goes off. So, if it's for half an hour, though, just, I would just turn it off. Turn it off between 2 and 3, and you're good. I don't even think my phone got I don't remember even getting the last alert. National Emergency Alert. Do they have when they did past alerts? Let's see. I want to know if I can find out when they did past alerts. September 23rd, 2023. Of course, they put that out in the news on the 23rd. That's going to freak everybody out. So let's see. Oh, I know. All, anytime. Let's do 1/01/22. So here's an older one. August 11th, 2021. The national test will consist of 2 portions. Tests will begin at 2:20 p.m. on Wednesday, August 11th. So this is exactly the same thing. This is the last time they did it. Beginning at 2:20 p.m. Did anything happen in August of 2021? I don't recall anything major happening at that time. But I could be wrong. In case the August 11th test is canceled, blah, 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 backup date was August 25th. So, I don't know. I don't remember anything really popping off when that happened. Sent to TVs, radios, along with select cell phones that have opted in to receive test messages. But now they're doing it to everybody whose cell phone provider is part of the plan. Right? Who can remember anything happened the last time this went off? No? Turn off between 2 and 3 and go out and hug a tree. There you go. Both nuclear superpowers having tests around the same time? I don't know. We'll all be fine. We'll make it through. Give yourself a pep talk in the mirror and get ready. Yeah, there you go, Ray. We are going to be fine. Remember Hawaii having the false alarm? No, I don't. They're going to leave the frequency on to activate the nanoparticles that everybody got injected. Yeah, possibly, but you guys don't... I mean, I'm not going to say that technology like that doesn't exist, but I just don't, you guys can't freak out about stuff that hasn't happened yet. Yeah. You'll be fine. You guys are going to be just fine. Till you turn it on and melt into a sugar demon. What was the Hawaii false alarm? A nuke fallout alarm? Let's... Huh. ...2018 Hawaii false missile alert. Oh my gosh, I don't remember this happening. In the morning of January 13, 2018, alert was accidentally issued via the emergency alert system over television radio, blah blah blah, instructing citizens to seek out shelter due to an incoming ballistic missile. It concluded this is not a drill. Holy shit, I don't remember that. That's funny. 38 minutes and 13 seconds later, state officials blamed a miscommunication during a drill at the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency for the first message. Erroneous alert. Wow. Estimated maximum range of some North Korean missiles. So what, they were saying that they were going to get nuked by Korea? Nukes are fake. Nuclear bombs are a fucking fake. By the way, just saying. I do not accept that those are real. How? That's crazy. Fallout naked alarm. It was also an attempted assassination on Trump that day? Really? This isn't saying when that happened. (2018) ricin attempt. October 1st, 2018, an envelope laced with ricin was sent to Trump before being discovered by mailing facilities. 2020 ricin attempt. A farrier who's Canadian. (2023) death threat. Interesting. No, nuclear power is real, but nuclear weapons are not. Nuclear power is real. It's a chemical reaction. It's a fancy way to boil water. See, nuclear power is real. In fact, it's like the cleanest, most efficient form of energy we have. It's the cleanest form of energy. And like, I think the whole scam about the nuclear thing is the pollution. All these people, like if they dump the water from the cooling pools into the ocean or whatever, they call it nuclear radiation waste or whatever. Except, do you guys all remember that guy Galen Windsor who's talked about how he would literally swim in the cooling pool and he was fine? So it's like, you know, it's just one of those control mechanisms, those lies that makes it able for them to control the energy industry, right? Because everybody thinks that if you you know, not that you can't, not that there isn't a period of time when you have these chemical reactions where it is really gnarly and it can like melt your face and stuff. But once that process is over, like that's it, it's over. You know, look at Chernobyl, how Chernobyl is thriving now. Like if you bring up Chernobyl, like they supposedly had that big nuclear meltdown and they don't let anybody go there. But it's thriving. Life is thriving there. It's not like a nuclear wasteland. You know, it doesn't look like post-apocalyptic or anything like that. It's fine, right? Yeah, well, why is Japan still alive? They said people wouldn't be able to live there forever. Yeah, exactly. Kind of think nukes are Tesla energy transfers with the bomb being divided. I don't know. I just know that I used to be married to somebody who worked in nuclear technology. And while we were together, before our marriage got nuked, I did pick his brain on it. Because I was like watching all this stuff and I was like, I just watched this thing about this dude who said he swims in the cooling water. Like, you know, talking about how the nuclear, the side effects of it, like him holding uranium and eating uranium and how it's not as toxic as they want you to believe it is. They want you to be afraid to work with these minerals and these substances. I mean, not that you shouldn't use caution and obviously be educated and know what you're doing clearly, but they want you to be afraid of this stuff. They want you to think that it's like, you know, life. They would rather you be ignorant and afraid rather than knowledgeable and able to, you know, work on these things yourselves. Like the guy, remember guys seeing the guy who made like a nuclear reactor in his house or whatever to produce power? And Galen Windsor, if you watched Galen Windsor talks, he used to say that, you know, having a big giant nuclear energy plant, power plant like that is like an extremely inefficient way to use nuclear power. He said there should be little ones like all over the place in every neighborhood. Right? So, it's just really interesting, you know, if you think about it that way. Like, could you imagine? Nobody even talks about that. Nobody even talks about that. They always talk about, oh, let's get solar panels and wind power, right? But what if everybody, like every town or little neighborhood could have their own small nuclear reactor that put out enough power to power the town, and everybody took, you know, turns in maintaining it or whatever. You had some people that maintained it or whatever. But could you imagine? And then, you know, and then these huge power lines that run for miles and miles and miles where they have to like mow down all these trees and stuff, like all that would be unnecessary because there'd be all these smaller, little grids, right? So then if the power grid goes down, if something happens, you're not like, not everybody isn't down, only that small grid is down. I mean, think about it. It could be totally different than the way it is now. But they have everything set up for mass control. And like I said, they just keep you ignorant so that you've just like, oh, I don't know enough. Somebody smarter than me can deal with that, right? Oh, somebody smarter than me. You're smarter than me. I'm just a dumb, useless eater, right? Like that's what they've got most people stuck in, that mentality. I missed it. Dogs barking at stupid stuff. They lie to keep the energy source to themselves. Well, nuclear power is a real thing. It's when they talk about nuclear weapons that it's not real. The nuclear weapon part is the BS part, right? The fear porn part, the scary part. HHO better than solar or wind, can even use solar and wind to make the HHO. What do you mean? I have the Brown's gas machine, but what is that? You talking about hydrogen gas? You could probably do that too if you built like a large scale like electrolysis or whatever machine, and the radiation part. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like that crazy story about the half-life of like the radioactive part that's like melts your face off. I think that part really exists, but it happens, but that's only when the actual reaction is happening, and then once the reaction is done, that's it. It's done. But they want you to think like forever things are contaminated forever. And I think that's wrong. Drawback to HSOs, you have to listen to an internal combustion engine. Yeah. I'm going to go out of limb and say nothing is going to happen. Just put it out there, keep everyone in fear. Exactly. It's the fear frequency. Kind of like Fukushima, we were all supposed to notice no life left in the sea, right? They were telling you that the everything in the ocean was going to be contaminated and dead, but did it really happen? No, it didn't. It might have been affected a little bit, but the Earth is really, really good at self-cleaning. You know, the way the system is set up, the ecosystem is really good. Sometimes it takes longer, and sometimes filthy, nasty humans make a really despicable, disgusting mess. But the Earth is pretty good at alchemizing everything back into the system. Radioactive material has a half-life unless it's in nature, I guess. But you can get radioactive minerals. There's radioactive minerals. You can even get like a little Geiger counter, and you can like read. You can get a reading off the minerals. People have them all the time. You can get pieces of uranium and whatever. Like, let's see, radioactive minerals. There's some people who collect them. Right? So here's like, and most of them are green, which is pretty interesting, which is why like the radioactive stuff is always like this bright color, because in reality, radioactive minerals are that color. Isn't that cool? You know, I've talked about this before with like crystals and stuff. The realm is definitely color coded. Okay? That is how simple the creator made it for us to figure stuff out. It's color coded. So these minerals are radioactive. You know, uraninite, this one is not green. So there's a couple that are, and this monazite, they're not bright green, but they are radioactive. But look at these minerals. Typically they are. They're bright colors, and they self-heal. You can, like this monazite one, I was talking about this one before. They have samples of this monazite where they drill holes in it and then it heals itself. They can like observe it self-healing. So when you talk about, so when you think about like these superhero type of storylines, or these things where these people get in contact with these radioactive elements, and then it triggers like superhuman powers in people, the reason that they use that is because there is some truth to it. Not necessarily the effect that the radioactive mineral will have on a human. It's like not going to turn everybody into a superhuman, although maybe, who knows? I don't know. But they do exhibit like supernatural, right, abilities. Like, you know, when you combine them, putting out more energy than it is put in type of stuff, and like the reactions, the energy that is expelled during the reactions and the changes that happen. It seems supernatural, but these are all natural elements. They're all just part of the realm. But it's funny, right, to think about. Kryptonite. Ted's loofahs are radioactive. Yeah. Exxon Valdez, all good now. Remember that? I remember the Exxon Valdez spill, and it was like catastrophic. I remember, because I was very young when that happened. Let's look at what year did that happen? Oh, I spelled it wrong. Valdez oil spill. Exxon Valdez oil spill. March 24th, 1989. Alaska at 12:04 a.m. spilled 10.8 million U.S. gallons, or 37 tons of crude oil over the next few days. Exxon Valdez spill is the second largest in U.S. waters after the 2020 Deepwater Horizon spill. Do you remember the Deepwater Horizon spill? That one was way worse. Way worse. I remember that thing. Remember that thing was like spewing oil into the ocean for like months and months and months? So after 20 years, there is no evidence suggesting that either cleanup workers or the residents of communities affected by the Valdez spill have had any adverse health effects as a result of the spill or its cleanup. In 2010, CNN reported on studies concluding that many oil spill cleanup workers involved in Exxon Valdez response had subsequently become sick, and warned those exposed to the Deepwater Horizon oil spill to take heed. But they're saying that that wasn't true. Although I do remember them saying that the thing that was making them sick was this thing that they were trying to use to clean up the oil was what was making it worse. In fact, let's look at the Deep Water Horizon. This one was gnarly. That one spilled oil into the Gulf for months. Was industrial began on April 20th, 2010 off the coast of the United States. estimated to 8 to 31% larger in volume than the previous large exotic oil spill, also in the Gulf. The United States federal government estimated total discharge of 4.9 MMBBL. I don't know. What does that stand for? I don't know. 210 million U.S. gallons. After several failed efforts to contain the flow, the well was declared sealed on September 19th, 2020. See? For like months, it was just spewing oil into the Gulf. Look at this. Deepwater Horizon fire. Jeez. Look at all those ships trying to put water on that bastard. That's crazy. Oh, can you guys see it? All you need is dawn. John Hutchison was using frequencies to help clean up the oil from the deep water leak. Really? That's interesting. That's insane. Could you imagine trying to deal with all that? Like that scale? That's gnarly, man. They only let information like that out when there is much worse they are up to? Like what? What information? The ocean microbes ate all the spilled oil. It was gone in about a month. It was the second most prevalent liquid on Earth. They make it sound so toxic. Yeah. There's the Deepwater oil spill. Yeah. See, it's bad when people make mistakes and then stuff like this happens. Eek. It's raw crude oil, man. But you know, there's places on Earth where the oil comes up out of the ground by itself. So... Remote operated vehicle. They're trying to ignite it? What is this? Spraying. Subsea dispersant injection. Yeah. Dude, that was crazy. God isn't happy with that. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, it's Dennis. How's it going?
Hello, Dennis. How are you?
Oh, I've been better. I had a urinary tract infection, so I spent the night in the emergency room. Just coming back now, but I'll be all right. Probably take the night off of work tonight, though.
Yeah.
But I'd heard you were talking about like the Hawaii false alert, and in a glance, I saw that there's a bunch of those false alerts and stuff, and just as far as succinct information on, it just sounds mainstream, but the Wikipedia article for the emergency alert system, which is what replaced the emergency broadcast system in 1997. I thought that was pretty informative. It's got like the Hawaii myth. It's got a section on it with false alerts, and it's got the Hawaii one and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the emergency broadcast system, Wikipedia article has stuff before that. I think it was the familiar ones. I don't know. Probably you remember that these familiar ones with that they ran on TV like back in the 80s. This has been a test of the emergency broadcast system. Had this been an actual emergency, then broadcasters in your area, that was, I think, they had interesting stuff because it was first formed in 1951 by Truman. It was called CONELRAD. As far as a system so the president or vice president could get messages out to the whole U.S. in case of attack. But I think it was called CONELRAD until 1963. They changed it to the emergency broadcast system. And then that in 1997 came with the present system, where they had this monotone signal on the TVs. This has been a test of the emergency broadcast. It would be like just a monotone signal, but it was replaced in 1997 by these screeches with beeps at the beginning and at the end, and it's actually an audio code that could be, with the proper equipment, can be decoded as to what station and other information are in those audio, I guess, sounds like screeching sounds that they reply. I think the point of both of them was to get attention. They sound very unpleasant, the sounds. But anyway, both of those. Oh, there's one other thing you were talking about, like radiation in Japan and all. Two sources about atomic bombs debunking their taking the stuffing out of this how do I say, supernatural nature of them, which is just, you know, exaggeration and like fear porn, as you call it. But one is that book I gave you by Alexander de Seversky. I gave a copy to Mark Sargent too. He was a big Air Force guy, and it's a book from like 1950 or thereabout, and it's got a chapter. Oh, it's got two or three chapters debunking the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings, because he was the chief investigator for the army there, and he was there like that same month that it happened. The other one, I don't know if you know of, but especially for the radiation, there was something called the Atomic Bomb Casualty Commission in Japan from 1946 to 1955, and the leader of it for many years at its foundings was a medical general, Brigadier General Crawford Sams, and he gave an interview. It's online. He gave an interview in the 70s saying that the stuff for it was propaganda, and it was falsified, or it had some basis, but it was he was saying it was propaganda. It was false. Like it was his order, his job, he said, was to make the radiation and to give all of that credence, even if it was false, that the atomic bombs were horrible and they caused all this horrible radiation decades after. So he gave examples, like if somebody was riding a bicycle in Nagasaki or Hiroshima and they fell down and they got abrasions on their knees, and it was years after the atomic bombing, but it was it was scribbled up in their notes that it was that these wounds were due to the atomic bombing that happened in 1945. Any excuse or whatever, and anyway, it's in an interview and it's online. Crawford Sam, sometime in the mid to late 70s, and they made him the head of it. This group in Japan, and he was saying it was the stuff, especially he goes an interview talks about his whole career, but he spends a lot of time on the atomic bombs, especially all that radiation stuff. He goes into it, and his group, like you say, he says it's a bunch of BS basically. Anyway, that's a major source, along with Dostoevsky's, an older source, but it's worth checking out. That's all I got. Looking forward to Flattoberfest. So, and I'll have a copy of Dostoevsky's book for Austin Whitsitt. I think he's going to be there. I'm pretty sure he'll be there.
He is going to be there. He's going to be there.
Okay, that's awesome.
I know now for a fact that he's going to be there.
Okay, yeah, the Florida hurricanes are maybe enough in the past now that he's, I don't know all the details. I know he moved down there to Florida, right about the same time that they had a hurricane. So I don't know where he moved in Florida, but the timing was real. Wow. Anyway, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks for calling, Dennis.
Appreciate it.
All right. I was part of the nuclear response team when I was still working. Lots of training and tons of BS. Yeah, Nathan. Like, I heard some stories about people in the Navy running those nuclear-powered vessels and having things happen that should have been reported but didn't get reported, and then nothing bad happened as a result of it. You know, it's like sometimes, you know, you hear these stories and you're like, whoa, that's kind of crazy, but, you know, it's crazy if you think, like, what they tell you about this stuff is real, but when you realize they're not being completely truthful, you're like, that's kind of funny. So, you know, it is interesting. This is why, you know, I really like talking to people like Ben and anybody else who actually does things, alchemy, chemistry, working in a lab, people who have worked with stuff like this, because, you know, they can tell you through experience. They're like, oh yeah, well, one time XYZ happened, and it kind of corroborates what you're saying. So I love stuff like that. Piles and piles of TNT will make a mushroom cloud, right? Exactly. My only question, if a nuke was fake, then what are those mushroom clouds? Yeah, any explosion can make a mushroom cloud. Any explosion. Images for explosion. Look, and they're all mushroom clouds. Or like, you know, mostly, if you have a big explosion, it will be a mushroom cloud. You know. And then supposedly this ring or whatever makes it like look uniquely atomic, but that's just because it's a big explosion and what you're seeing is like a concussion ring, a percussion ring, right? Like the blast is traveling fast, the sound of the blast is traveling faster than the speed of sound, and you get like a compression ring. It's kind of like when you see jets flying and they pass the speed barrier and then that ring pops around them. That's what you're seeing. It's not because it's nuclear. It's just because it's a big, loud explosion. But any explosion big enough will make a mushroom cloud. I mean, think about it. Even when magicians do the little magic poof, it's like a little money mushroom cloud. It's just the way things go. told Tim about Galen Windsor, but he only believes the other Manhattan Project scientists and their sphere in a vice disaster. Oh. Yeah. Directed explosion can create a mushroom cloud similar to a vortex cannon. Yeah. Bananas are radioactive? That's funny. Are they? They might be. Programming fear, yeah. Displaced air. Yeah. Exactly. A major figure in, is this true? A major figure in the Pentagon's UFO research agency claims that fundamentalist Christians within the establishment blocked him because they thought UFOs came from hell. Oh boy. Those Pentagon commanders aren't being paranoid, they're correct. Aliens or demons, more specifically what we call aliens, are in fact interdimensional demonic forces pretending to be extraterrestrial beings from other galaxies so as to deceive mankind. Dig deep into the whole ET phenomenon, and it becomes clear these aliens may even play a critical role in the prophesied deceptions involved with the Antichrist agenda. There you go. I do definitely believe that this whole alien story is part of the deception. Chuck Missler and Mark Eastman broke it down in their book Alien Encounters: The Secret Behind the UFO Phenomenon. Interesting. Is there a cosmic destiny for planet Earth? What is behind UFO sightings? Are they real? Where are they from? What does the Bible say about them? Are they friendly or hostile? This book confronts the issues head-on and offers answers to many of the most important questions, including a new chapter on government disinformation and possible cover-ups. You know, I find that interesting. I might want to read this book. Oh, I can get it for $1.99 in Kindle. Interesting. Be interesting to see what people like that have come up with, right? People who don't believe the official UFO story or that there's aliens. I mean, it's like that meme, I shared it a while back. It's like, I totally used to believe in aliens until the government said there were aliens. Now I totally don't believe in aliens. Like, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much how it went. Not exactly, but you know. The secret is there is no secret. But from any perspective, aliens are here somewhere on the plane and we live on they ain't in space. Well, if these things do exist, they're definitely not from deep space. They're not from another planet. They're living here inside this realm with us, just like the Bigfoots are and whatever other creatures may be roaming around. But, yeah. Hail, Ben. There's the answer, the Antichrist agenda. And what do you guys think? Well, let me ask you guys this. Do you think the government in general tries to make us think that the aliens will be nice? That we should, like, try to communicate and get along with the aliens? Or do you think that for the most part they think that that you should be afraid? Or do you think they push either way? Or is it just they're just trying to make you think they're real? I think they're trying to do a soft disclosure because they want you to try to accept these things. But we should not accept them. That's my opinion. What do you guys think? Government tries to get us to not think. Ha! Gregory, good answer. They try to communicate with them and make it seem like they're friendly. Yeah. I feel like they want you to accept. They want you to try to accept it. And I think they want you to try to accept it because they try to push that whole ancient alien things like as if aliens came here and like seeded life on this planet or whatever. I think they want to try to get you to accept them as overlords. But actually we're above them. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like the totem pole goes in this realm, I believe that humans are at the very top, and the only way for any other entity to take that top position is to trick humans into believing that they aren't in that position. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if humans were made in the image of the Most High, which I tend to agree with that, I think that's true, just because of how powerful we are and what we're capable of and the way that we manipulate this realm on a constant basis, like that we are pretty powerful, right? So the only way for these lower level entities to, you know, to have power over us is to convince us to believe that they have that when they really don't. So to me, it seems like ultimately what they're trying to do is to get people to accept these, whatever they are, as a higher, more powerful, more higher intellect type of being than us, when actually it's the other way around. Except, you know, people have just been dumbed down so much they believe it. Pretty sure Brian made Mushroom Cloud when he blew that lab up. Outer Lanjet testimonials say underwater lakes, rivers, seas, ocean, and caves coming out of volcanoes, and some reason heading north. Nothing about them going south. Really? The underwater stuff goes north? That's interesting. Shouldn't I be pure energy then? Well, not in a physical realm. I mean, we do live in a physical realm. There's a physical, you know what I mean? There is a physicality to this place. I've seen that Liberty Engine project. What's that? World War III will be shown to be between Islam and Christianity, and the aliens will bring peace, showing God does not exist. Oh, yeah. They are the aliens. Maybe they are. A lot of people think shapeshifters are real. And I don't think God is in the shape of a human. I don't know what the creator looks like. I remember Bob, rest in peace, Bob Nodell. Miss you, buddy. I remember Bob talking about it one time. I think it was on a Globebusters, where he was talking about like the creator being like a complex waveform, some complex energetic form. I feel like that's pretty accurate. I don't know, you know? I don't even know if any of us are even capable of comprehending it. But like when you read, when Jack and I read in scriptures, like when they talk about the tent, the tent of appointment, where they have to set it up in a certain way and they have to use very specific materials and metals, silver, brass, and gold in very specific numbers in a very specific order, and that the Ark of the Covenant is gold, and that they say, like the way they describe it in scripture, they talk about the essence of the creator coming down and being visible. So it's like I just imagine like an ark happening, right? Like it's the Ark of the Covenant. And what do we call it when you have two energetic points and then the energy manifests between the 2 points? It's an arc, right? So it's like that arc is set up to like receive the signal some sort of comprehensible version of that, of the being of the creator, so that humans can communicate with it or witness it or something. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but the way it is described in scripture, it really sounds like they're setting up a satellite dish, a receiving dish, a signal, a way to receive, information to communicate with the creator. And it even says, build this so that I can communicate with you. Right? So it's kind of a trip when you think about it like that. I don't know. Did it get physical with Bigfoot? I do. What are you saying, Ben? It's all the double? The decibel double? I don't get it. I do agree, though, that it's just a different vibration being and always here. Yeah. Because it also talks about in scripture, like, it's like, that it basically describes it as like, don't go, hey, the creator's gonna go, or like the creator will tell somebody, one of his people, go meet me on this mountaintop so I can talk to you. And don't let any of the other ones come down because they'll die. Right? Or there's certain things, like, they have to be careful, like, don't get too close, or you have to be, or like if you're sick or anything like that, like, you can't go to the tent of appointment, because if you're not if you're not in the perfect health, if you're not your strongest, you could be weakened by the presence of the creator because it's too much for you to handle. I feel like it's just a weird way to think about it. Nobody that I've ever heard of in church, or a pastor or a preacher or anybody, even addresses those things in that sort of manner. They want to, put their stink all over it and describe it as what it actually means is this. It's an allegorical this. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not allegorical. Maybe that's really what happened. Maybe they really were led by a pillar of smoke in the day and a pillar of fire at night. A fire could be any sort of light. It could be a constant lightning or whatever. These are all things that happen in this realm. Why could not the creator manifest as any one of these things at any point in time to communicate with the beings in the creation? So I don't know. Even according to the Bible, angels are liars. I wouldn't trust any being. Ben, you know what's funny? In scripture, even like the people who are supposed to be like the upstanding Bible characters, they lie. They tell lies. There's, who is it that tells lies about his wife? I can't remember the names. I haven't read it enough to like have all the names, memorized and stuff. But there's one character in the Bible who lies and says that his wife is his sister when they go into these other lands, because he fears that if he tells them that's his wife, then the men will like kill him so they can take her, right? So it's like weird. There's weird dynamics because they lie to protect themselves. They lie for certain purposes. There's all kinds of liars in the Bible. You have power over time versus super tech dude. The ark carries something. Noah's ark carried life. Ark of the covenant, carrier of the spirit. Or, yeah, carrier information. Light carries information. See, I have to disagree with you guys saying that the human body is a flawed design. Because here's the problem. I think most of the flaws are that we don't take care of ourselves properly, and we live in a toxic environment and we don't know how to take care of ourselves. And also a lot of people they become immobile. They don't work as much. You don't move around as much. You don't use your muscles as much. Have you ever heard that term, use it or lose it? Like, I think a lot of that is just how we live. I don't think we have an inferior design. Are you guys, what are you guys in there? Do you guys believe evolution is real? Look at modern man after hundreds of generations after the fall. Look at Neanderthal man. I think Adam was 18-foot tall version closer to Neanderthals than modern man. But that doesn't make any sense. Adam was not described as a giant. And they clearly differentiate between men of great size and they don't talk about everybody like that. They go, oh, those were men of great size. Or like when they talk about Goliath is bigger, right? Like, I'm sorry, I just don't believe that. Adam was first man. We don't come from giants. Well, you guys got some crazy thoughts, don't you? I mean, look at the abuse that our human bodies take, and we still thrive. We still go on. I think I agree, Dr. Law. The human body is amazing. Use it or lose it. The ether carries the God spark through his breath gives life. Yeah. I just don't know about all that. Interesting. Seems to be that it's easy for us to love the idea of God, but we don't fully comprehend what it means to fear God. I don't even necessarily think you're supposed to fear God. I don't think you're supposed to fear him. Her, it, they. He, they. Our creator is not their creator? Do you think there's a different creator? Interesting. Adam and Eve and their first offspring were perfect. That's why they could mate with each other. They have become less perfect with every generation. Yeah, in the beginning, it wasn't too worried about. They have rules. I mean, and then in the scripture, there's rules. Like it tells you can't be getting with your sister and having babies with your sister. But, you know, also in scripture it says, and Elohim created them. Let's look at it. Okay, let's look. Let's just take a little look at Genesis, shall we? Okay. Here's creating the earth, brought forth glass, the light, two great lights, rule over the day, waters. Okay. And Elohim created great sea creatures and everything, and every living being that moves, with which the waters teemed, according to their kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim blessed them, saying, be fruitful and increase, and fill the waters and the seas, and let the birds increase on earth. Let there be evening for the fifth day. So you can see that even before Elohim creates man, they create all the creatures, or all the living things on the earth first, which is really interesting. Priming the tank. Remember we had this discussion? It's priming the tank. And Elohim said, let the earth bring forth the living being according to its kind, livestock, creeping creatures, beasts of the earth according to its kind, and it came to be so. And Elohim made the beasts of the earth. And then, here we go. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image according to our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over all the creeping creatures that creep on the ground. And Elohim created man in his image. In the image of Elohim he created him, male and female he created them. Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said to them, Be fruitful and increase, and fill the earth and subdue it, and rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over all the creeping creatures of the earth. And Elohim said, See, I have given you every plant that yields seed which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed to you, for it is food. And every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and every creeping creature, every green on the earth in which there is a living being, every green plant is for food. And it came to be so. Elohim saw that he had made what he had made, and see, it was very good. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, in the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed, and all their array. And on the seventh day he rested. So, then it talks about the creation of man and woman. But here's what's weird, right? So in the first one, it already talks about creating beings, right? And let us create man, which was what, 126. And Elohim said, Let us make man in our image according to our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, blah, 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 blah. And Elohim created man in his image. In the image of Elohim he created them, male and female. He created them and blessed them. So at the same time, making man and woman. And then it's going to go back and talk about the creation of man and woman. There are the birds of the heavens and the earth, when they were created in that day that Yehovah Elohim made earth and heavens. Now no shrub of the field was yet on the earth, and no plant of the field has yet sprung up, for Elohim had not sent rain to the earth, and there was no man to till the ground. So it talks about how it didn't rain yet. Elohim formed man out of dust from the ground, and breathed into his nostrils breath of lives, and the man became a living being. So, why did we start looking at that again? Tell that to fat people. Well, here's the thing. Even in scripture, it tells you not to take more food than you need. Fat people be taking way more food than they need. Come on, let's get real. That's how you get fat. You're taking more than you need. But that's not the fault of the creator. That's your fault. That's where free will comes in. How do you get morning on the sixth day, though? What do you mean? I'm pretty sure that the sun and the moon were mated before that day. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning the fifth day. So... So first thing that happens is, let light come to be, and light came to be. Elohim saw the light that it was good, and Elohim separated the light from the darkness. And Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning one day. So, like, basically, that's the first thing that happens, is a day is established, is day and night are established. First thing that happens is the polarity of light and dark. Well, before that, there was a deep. There was an empty darkness, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the spirit of Elohim was moving on the face of the waters. The waters is the supersaturated crystal slurry from which the physical realm started to grow. Elohim said, let there be light, and light came to be. Light contains information. Light is the spark. Light is good. Good means functional. So the first thing that happens is the day is created. The first thing that sets is the measure of the sky clock. Adam wasn't the first man either. There were other people. I tend to agree. I think that, you know what seems more likely to me, instead of there just being one Adam and Eve, is like every continent, like every region had its Adam and Eve, right? Which is how all the different types of people started. So in this region, Adam and Eve look this way. In that region, Adam and Eve look that way. And in that region, Adam and Eve look a certain way. I mean, maybe. Can't even tag into this. Not sure this biblical knowledge. Fear of the God is the beginning of wisdom. MFT, stop manifesting darkness. Adam and Eve weren't mentioned until after he rested in Genesis 2. That's what I'm saying. It goes, because it talks about that they created man and woman. He created them, right? So then, and then in 2, I think it talks about how man and woman were created. I'm not from those people. Well, it makes, see, because if you think about it, doesn't it seem weird that so many different looking types of people would come from just one Adam and Eve? Like if there really was only just them, then everybody would look the same or look similar, right? Like there's too much diversity in the physical appearance of everybody, right? So like, you know, black people, Asian people, Native Americans, you know, Eskimos, like everybody has a very distinct physical look, right? Like the Nordic, you know, tall, white, Viking people, and then like, you know, the Native Americans are short, you know, all of it, there's all these different types, right? So to me, it almost seems weird that, like, it doesn't really make sense that they would come from the same only 1-2 people. So in my mind, I feel like there could have been multiple Adam and Eves, like in the same way that he's, you know, the whole realm. It's a big realm, right? So maybe there's others, and then that's how you get these other religion, right? These other creation stories, but they all basically kind of could have started the same way, right? No? What do you think? Well, Adam and Eve are, if you look at the, Adam just means, let's see, what's the name for, if we look at, is Adam in here? But it means, first man. I think. So let me see. Let me put this here. See if I can find where the root word comes from. Here we go. Adam. Show the definition here. Adam, red, first man. Okay, we go to Strong's version. Adam, same as H120. Adam, the name of the first man also placed in Palestine. Adam. Let's look at 120. Adam, ruddy, that is a human being, an individual, or the species, mankind. There you go, person. So Adam is like, it's just a generic name for human being. It's not even like, you know what I'm saying? So they call it Adam, the literal translation, and then they gave this character the name Adam, but Adam just means human. First, you know, it's like first human, first man. Yeah, red. It's also like the root word that they use for blood. So like, let's see if we search blood. So blood. H1818. So let's look at that. Dom. See? Then the word for blood is dom. Blood, that which when shed cause of death of man or animal. Figuratively, blood, right? Compare H119, ancient Hebrew that we were just looking at, right? Adam, to show blood in the face, flush or turn rose-eyed, but it also means man. So blood, first man. So really, it's not supposed to be Adam and Eve. See, this is where the whole translation thing gets screwy, right? Because they translate stuff, and even though it's like a small thing and you might not think it makes a big difference, it really does make a big difference in how people interpret the scripture or interpret these ancient texts and read them. Like, you know, Adam is just first man. So Zulu, hey Mark Sargent. Yeah, I'm from a tree, I'm not Hebrew. Well, that's what I'm saying, like, why couldn't all of these creation stories be true? More likely that there were multiple gardens and multiple arcs that ended up in different places. Looks can be determined by adaptation for environment over many generations. I mean, I guess it's true. If you look at the wolf and you look at all the different dog breeds that mankind has extrapolated from just wolves, I mean, why couldn't the same be done with humans? I mean, I suppose, but like whole countries full of them? I don't know. I mean, maybe. I have to think about that for a while. What about the detailed genealogy of what? Do we even know that these are real? Because I gotta wonder about that genealogy stuff, because sometimes people will send the DNA of like a freaking lizard into the DNA, the whatever, right? The genealogy things, and it comes back and it gives them some results, and it's freaking lizard DNA. So do you guys even really trust that? I don't know if I trust that. I trust it's like, I feel like there's more faith in like the written record over time than the DNA genome. You know, like if you go, oh, you're 1% this and 30% that, and you know, like where are they getting that from? I don't know. Ben says, like, bread mold appears all over. We did that. Yeah, maybe. Book of Jubilees may explain some of this. I haven't read Jubilees. Rapid growth isn't impossible, but I don't know, man. It just seems weird, like, I don't know. Could have something to do with the 12 children, 12 tribes, or whatever. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Oh man, you've opened up about 20 different cans of worms all at the same time.
Who me? I do that.
But I was calling about... I love it. I love it. But I was calling about the first can of worms with the aliens. That's what got us down this track. Man, I've looked into this a ton. And it's just interesting that Aleister Crowley, way back in the day, you know, the first really modern Satanist. He came out and said, you know, we call them angels and demons today. We're going to call them something else tomorrow. And the demon that he was in contact with, he did drawings of it, and it looks exactly like a gray alien. And its name was Lam, Lam. Anyway, his protege was Jack Parsons. And Jack Parsons was like the forerunner of NASA and Jet Propulsion Laboratories. He was a rocket scientist. And he and L. Ron Hubbard from Scientology, of all things, those two were doing sex magic rituals in the desert. And, you know, interspersed with the rocket testing. It was very weird, very strange. Anyway, they called the rituals Babylon workings, and they were trying to open a portal, and they said that they succeeded. They opened one. And this is in 1947. I actually went into the FBI vault files at the direction of, I don't know, some podcaster. They said exactly where to look, and I did, and sure enough, it was there. The FBI went and questioned Parsons because there was an explosion of UFO sightings in 47. And they said, do you think this could have anything to do with your magic rituals? And he said, yes, I do. And then he admitted they didn't know how to close the portal. It remained open. And then another data point is Lou Elizondo. You know who that is, right?
Lou Elizondo. I don't know. It sounds familiar, but I can't think of who that is right offhand. Why does it sound
He's
familiar?
The guy that used to work. He's the guy that used to work with the Pentagon, and he came out, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, and just went very public with all the alien UFO stuff. And he said that his higher ups at the Pentagon, a few of them sat him down and said, you might want to think about what you're looking into and what you're digging into. And he said, why is that? And he said, well, they said, well, do you read your Bible? He said, I was thinking, what the hell is this? And he said, well, not regularly, but I think I know what it says. And they said, well, we think this is demonic. The Pentagon officials told him this while he was working at the Pentagon. So I just find all of that telling, and I tend to agree with them. And I agree with what you said at the beginning of this, that we're in a closed system. They definitely aren't coming from outer space. I think they're interdimensional, and they're spiritual. And they can appear as whatever they want. I think they probably have fallen angel technology. I don't know how any of that works, obviously, but here's another interesting point. There have been hundreds of abductees that swear that they stopped it. They were able to stop it with the name of Jesus Christ. Sounds pretty spiritual to me. And speaking of that, one final point. Stephen Greer, Dr. Stephen Greer, the big UFO guy, he's the one that started all the CE5 stuff, which literally gets people to go out and basically pray to the sky to get them to come in, and it actually works. Well, I don't think aliens from outer space are flying around in the skies telepathically scanning for anyone calling them in. I think that's a pretty clear indication that they're spiritual. And anyway, that's just my opinion. I also think it's interesting you went into evolution. They're clearly getting everyone to switch from the theory of evolution to panspermia. getting everyone to believe in ancient aliens instead of God. And they're the ones that came from outer space and created us.
Right.
So, yeah. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, it really is.
Anyway. Yeah. It's all of this makes me believe in God even harder. So it's backfiring on them for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lately, I hear a lot of chatter on the internet, like in the past year, where people are talking about the Old Testament, and they're saying that Yahweh was actually an alien, and he's just one of a group of aliens called Elohim, and he's a warlord among them, and he's not even a strong one. He's kind of a weak warlord, but he was given a group of people called the Israelites, and that's what they were following, his alien tech or whatever in the desert. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff cropping up now. I think they're just gearing up for a final showdown with God. Just my opinion.
Can't rule it out. That's for sure.
Nope.
Can't rule it out.
Okay. That's all I got.
All right. Thanks for calling.
Sure. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, man. It's crazy. Hello, 16 Alpha V. We are running late today. I know, and my dog's whining at the back door, so I probably got to wrap it up because I got to take my dog for a proper walk. He's whining. He says it's time for me to come out, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up. But thank you everyone for joining me for another episode of Coffee Talk. It's always fascinating. I really do love these. This type of show is my favorite because I like the randomness. I like the letting the conversation flow, and I like the open topic, and I like the callers. I love everything about it, the exploring. Sometimes I have little light bulbs go off for myself during these shows, so it's really helpful. And anybody that is here commenting, calling in, you're adding to that, and I appreciate it. So thank you for that. And I also do hope to see you all on Flattoberfest 2023 in Las Vegas. And if I have never met you in real life before, make sure you stop by and say hi. I will be extremely busy, but if you want to just say hi and say, whatever, that's cool. I will try to take pictures with you if you want. I don't know why people want pictures with me, but some people ask me for pictures. But I really I'm looking forward to meeting everybody. All those faces that I haven't met, all those West Coast people that haven't made it to the events, that haven't been able to get out because the event hasn't been closed to them. I'm bringing it to you. I am bringing it to you. So the least that you can do is show up. All right, you guys, remember, thanks Bob for 10% off. Okay. Mark Devlin, Ben Balderson, Dave Murphy, Jason Linwood, Mark Sargent, Amanda Vollmer, Jaron Campanella, Austin Winsett, Chief Crow and the Flat Earthworms, lots of people, Greg Reese. Did I put Greg Reese on here? I need to update. Why won't this thumbnail update? I'm pretty sure I did. Anyway, schedule's up. Tickets are still on sale. Make it there. Have a wonderful day or a shitty day, your choice. Yeah, man. It's going to be cool. And don't forget to go hit my merch store up. Get yourself cool Flat Earth shirts. Coffee Talk with Karen B mug. And all that fun stuff. All right, you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And don't forget to join me back here tomorrow evening with Mark Sargent for Strange World, episode 427. Thursday for Globebusters Tech. Saturday for Anti-Religious Scripture Study. I don't know. We'll see. I may or may not keep doing coffee talks through leading up to the event. I don't know. We'll see how busy I am. I'm trying to wrap up some final stuff. But I do enjoy being here with you guys every Monday morning. So there is that. All right, you guys. Take it easy, peace. And for those who wish to send me stuff through snail mail, you can send it to P.O. Box 10, Earl, North Carolina, 28038. There are also links below for Flat Earth merch, and you can send me donations, and I do appreciate all the support. Sincerely, thank you very much. Also, please go to flatearthfestivals.com for all information about upcoming Flattoberfest and Flat Earth-friendly local meetups. If you are organizing a local Flat Earth meetup, email me at flatearthfestivals@protonmail.com with your meetup information to have it listed on the website for free. For everything else, you can email me at karenbfe@protonmail.com. Thank you for being here.